approach the Mitchell interchange. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest fall looks, all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Our favorite four-letter word. Free! Free! Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Wisconsin's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
The kick is blocked! It is blocked! It is blocked! And the Packers have won! Beautiful!
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
97.3 The Game. This is Victory Monday on The Game.
Touchdown Green Bay Packers! Touchdown Tucker Kraft!
Don't miss the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrabee, live at 8 a.m. with Billy and Armin.
And the Packers have applied the dagger.
Your home for Zabin Butch in the morning.
That's my name.
Heard live from Milwaukee and on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. A new day is dawned on The Game.
You know, just a new year. I'm just ready for a fresh restart. It's just a beautiful day out here.
A show with straightforward conversation with no agendas. This is No BS with Bill Schmidt.
Why is this thing sticky?
And Armin Saryan.
Boom, boom, shakalaka, clockwork football, touchdown. I love seeing that.
Join the show now on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. 1-877-794-1973.
Wait a minute, these guys are cool, but not that cool.
No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Now, Billy and Armin on The Game.
Good morning. It's No BS on a Victory Chicken Monday. Never too early to celebrate and enjoy and bask in the glory of the National League Championship Series and your division leading Green Bay Packers this morning. Armin Starian's right there. I'm Billy Schmidt. Andrew Ludwig produces. You can join it at 877-794-1973. Armin, a smorgasbord of victory chicken here today to feast on.
Yeah.
We're going to feast on some Brewers victory from Saturday night, and what an incredible spectacle it was when Tim Allen joins us of the baseball postgame show at 7, and then 8 o'clock hour, more Packers conversation. Wayne Larrabee's here at 8 o'clock. Vinny Rottino's here at 8:30, getting ready for game 1 of the NLCS later tonight. And if you're going, we'll talk a lot of Brewers throughout the day here today, but just an incredible weekend outside of what happened in the homecoming situation in Madison. But in this part, on the east side of the state, if you just slice it right down, Dodge County, it was a hell of a weekend. A good one to be able to enjoy because the Packers get a workman-like victory. Packers OT was a little bit more pessimistic than I was anticipating yesterday.
Me too. I was a little surprised by that, but then again, I shouldn't be. It is Packer fans. I have to remember. I shouldn't be so naive to think that everything would be, puppy dogs and ice cream and charcuterie boards.
But it's good. We got high standards.
That's the greatest part of it.
Standards.
Well, we are the Green Bay Packers, and we have great high standards Packer fans, obviously.
And the Packers get out of that game with a victory, no injuries, which is a good thing. And then the Milwaukee Brewers get on to the NLCS with maybe the most emotional non-World Series related postseason game of all time. Like I saw a lot of people trying to rank where that game and where the win would stack up. The way it played out, how dramatic it ends up being, the inclusions of young flamethrowers and some postseason sensations that rise to the occasion. Dude, Saturday night was elite. A 3-1 victory and 6 outs from Abner Uribe. Chad Patrick with a couple of moments of the game. He was called the player of the game by Pat Murphy. And then finally, Bryce Terang with the insurance right when you need it. William Contreras goes Wild Bill early. That was an incredible display at American Family Field on Saturday night. And Brewers fans that were there sounded like they allowed the pessimism to maybe just keep them a little bit quiet at certain points, but it was an electric factory when that thing was getting closed out.
And it didn't seem that way on TV in terms of the pessimism, in terms of, I know there were some prominent voices constantly complaining about how the fans were not up.
Maybe it was just a louder minority of the fans. That's fair play.
I honestly thought they showed out really well on TV. I thought that they gave the team the energy they needed. And Billy, you're absolutely right. It was very cathartic, wonderful, beautiful win. The best part of it for me was that it was, I felt the release of the burden from Brewers fans on their shoulders, on their backs, and maybe more so than even the team after finally, winning a playoff series, but most importantly, a conquest over your rival and a team like that. It seemed like the first round playoff, losing kind of streak thing, whatever you want to call it, not winning a playoff series was a heavy burden to escape, and the Brewers finally did it. So it was great because also, Billy, I think it turned some narratives a little bit on its head from a lot of us out there that tend to be, a little bit maybe pessimistic in these moments about our teams here in Wisconsin. I don't want to say the Eeyores out there as well that said, well, we can never get it done. We can, we always blow it in the big moments. Well, anytime you think that, anytime you're tempted to say that and go that route, anytime you're tempted to grab that low-hanging fruit off the tree and saying we always blow it, remember Saturday night. I said Friday earlier, I think. Remember Saturday night. We got it done. And no one ever can tell you now that you can't get it done, because you got it done. The Brewers got it done. I thought it was kind of cosmic the way it was 3-1, just like 2018 game 163 was.
Tie-in, yes.
That was pretty cool, Billy. Thought it was wonderful how the Brewers won with 3 home runs. We always talk about how slugging and power plays in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. It definitely played in that elimination game.
Got all 3 of them. And Bryce Terang, welcome back from the wilderness. We're happy to have you.
Incredible to be able to get that swing, and hopefully that wakes him up into and gives him just some confidence and some life. You heard Murph talking about it, that he was incredibly frustrated with himself with a couple of the at-bats that he had, and he's like, hey, man, it's 2 games. You've been one of our best hitters all year long. I think it'll work out. And then 2 at-bats later, he gives you the insurance run you desperately need. But I think there's something to your favorite phrase of fetishizing disaster and the misery that sometimes you get into as Wisconsin sports fans. You see a win like Saturday night that it then also just walks into the next round. Until you get the last one and you don't have to worry about another game, there will always be a little bit of what's around the corner, and the boogeyman's going to come out and jump in and get you. And this one ends up being a $348 million boogeyman in the LA Dodgers that come to town. But the greatest professional sports version of David and Goliath, I think we get to see.
That's a great
with this series that's starting up here tonight. And the best team faces the most talented team. Is that fair? The Brewers have been the best team all year. The record would put them in that category. But I don't know that anybody in their right mind looks at the 26-man roster that's going to get put together and announced on a pretty sweet graphic, I would assume, by the LA Dodgers right around 3 or 4 o'clock, that on paper there's any team that's better. Like, however good the Yankees are at full strength, or the Blue Jays, who are the top seed in the American League, or the Mariners that end up winning last night, whoever it ends up being, Tigers, who had the best record for a while. The Dodgers are, on paper, one of the greatest rosters that's ever been put together.
There's no question. There's no question, Billy.
I like that we at least have a tick of retort to the baked-in pessimism and disaster sensation and craving, because he went 6-0 against this team in 2025. Granted, a different looking Dodger team than right now, with the amount of injuries they played through all year. Mookie Betts had 2.5 months where he was like a pedestrian shortstop, and now he's again one of the better hitters in all of baseball. Freddie Freeman up against Andrew Vaughn. Everybody in baseball on the surface is going to take one guy in that answer. So like, it's impressive to see how different the two collections of talent are. But you only got to win 4 of the next 7 games. I say only because you don't have to beat them 10 times. You have to win 4 games, and you get 4 of them at home. And tonight, we'll talk about it a lot, and I'm excited to get Tim Allen's take on it coming up at 7 o'clock. I already am circling the wagons for tomorrow night is the biggest game of the series. Tonight's going to be what it ends up being, right? Game 1, you're a little bit on shorter rest than them. You had an incredibly emotional series, but you are at home. And game 1, you see what happens. But if you win game 1, game 2 guarantees you, Armin Sarian, that you return to American Family Field. You are guaranteed a game 6. You're guaranteed a shot at home to, at least at worst, save your season, or even better, take yourself to the World Series for the second time in franchise history at home in that game 6. You also then, if something goes haywire tonight, you better win game 2. So I'm already circling tomorrow as the most important game of the series. I'm going to enjoy tonight because it is it's something that doesn't come around very often. Yeah. Even though it's happened 3 times in the last 15 years, it's one thing to incredibly be celebrated to play this late into October.
Yeah, I'm with you, Billy. I think you have to celebrate it. I think you have to enjoy it. And with that knowledge of how good the Dodgers talent is, at least knowing, and you're right about game 2 being important, because you give yourself some confidence knowing that, okay, our heads are not underwater. The avalanche is not coming downhill on us. We're in a dogfight of a series either way. Knowing the Dodgers have all that talent, but you did beat them 6 times out of 6 this year, albeit, it was a different time, a different era. The team was somewhat different, Billy, but I think their mindset was different too, the Dodgers. And I rarely say that about a baseball team in the year of 2025 of our Lord, that you can just flip a switch on and off. But they kind of did coast the last 2.5 months of the year to the playoffs. I'm sure it wasn't the way they wanted it. Like, I'm sure they would have loved to win 105 games. They didn't do it, but it does seem like once the playoffs started, call it experience, call it confidence,
championship medal.
That's just what they know. Okay, we're built. We don't. This is what we do. This is October. We're built for this. The Brewers do have some advantages here, obviously the home field advantage, and like I said, I think the knowledge that they know they can beat the Dodgers in that sense. I think the first thing you have to do, though, Billy, right, is make yourself believe it again. Give yourself confidence. Play well, win a game right away. Okay, then we're in a series and let the chips fall where they may. But there's no doubt about it. This is baseball's El Guapo. It used to be the Yankees. I think more than ever, it's the Dodgers now that spend the most, that throw their money around the most, that let you know that no matter what you do, and your pitching lab, all of your woodpeckers, that's all cute, that's all great, but we are going to bludgeon you as much as we can with talent, with ability, with money, and try and make
deferred money.
Deferred money, all that stuff. Yeah.
$680 million or whatever it ends up being of deferred money.
Superstars, it's going to be, no matter how the series goes, obviously you're going to be holding your breath every time Shohei's up. They have all these guys, like those type of guys, Mookie, Teoscar Hernandez, pick your guy. And the Dodgers are that talented. But that being said, the Brewers have done what they've done this year, and it has not been a fluke either. So it'll be a great championship series. You also don't want to get caught in that "we're happy to be here" idea too, because the Brewers do have, and I know Brewers fans have, their sights set on loftier goals, as well we should. I mean, this, you don't get many shots at this. Now the Brewers finally got out of their bugaboo of the playoff series. They did it against their rival. It's fantastic. It's great. Now let's go make more memories. Let's try and go make it again. It's going to be a dogfight either way if you're going to try and get to the World Series. But that's the way it should be, Billy. That's what dreams are made of. So let's see if we can get this magic carpet ride going another week or two.
Yeah, it's never going to be an easy one. I did like Blake Snell yesterday, instantly trying to flip the script where he said, listen, I'm not falling for this average Joe's nonsense.
Did you notice that? I love that.
They're not. They got the best record in baseball. They're a really good team. Then our friend Dave Gasper goes, yeah, well, Blake Snell's salary, $36.4 million, is more than the entire Brewers National League Division Series pitching staff combined.
Amazing.
At less than $22 million.
Truly amazing. And then Pat Murphy, I think I saw, obviously we're busy yesterday, call him the Dodgers America's team and things like that, and all these funny quotes. And obviously Pat likes to then gas up his opponent, call us the underdog. So I guess it's like a whole passive aggressive, who's going to, compliment the other guy more battles so far in this series. That's what the talking war is. No, you guys are great. No, you guys are great. No, we love you guys. No, we're the ones that are starry-eyed looking at you like, no, you guys have been great too all year. It seems like that's like the prefab to this whole thing. It's kind of an interesting.
I appreciate Murph busting out the America's team for the LA Dodgers. Our friend Matt LePay is, I think, very appropriately called Pat Murphy America's manager. And the video of him making all the Japanese reporters yesterday stand up and introduce themselves at his press conference. Now, Letty, you have been in those meetings with Murph. How did your introduction go?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Okay. I said, hey, so pregame, let's flash back to last year. Pregame, I was down on the field, my first ever time actually being down there pregame. And I see Pat Murphy look over at me and he's kind of staring at me. I'm like, all right, I know postgame he's going to ask who I am. So I walk in postgame and there he is. He's staring right at me as he comes and sits down. He goes, who are you? I go, hi, Murph. I'm Andrew Ludwig. I work with Tim Allen on the baseball postgame show. He goes, well, Tim and I see the game the same way.
That's awesome.
Pat's hilarious. And, my cousin is a big Dodgers fan. All right. One of my closest, and he's like, is Pat always this hilarious?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah. So the nation is going to learn a little bit more about Pat Murphy from these press conferences and things like that. So, it's fantastic that people are going to know about him. And how unique and funny his personality is. So
his relationship with Timmy is A1.
That's my favorite. That's my whole favorite thing, by the way.
Their interactions are some of the best in ball.
There was a moment in spring training. I'm not going to mention what was exactly said, but Tim came walking into the locker room and Murph said something from across the dugout or the clubhouse, and everyone kind of went, "Whoa, Murph's already going there with Timmy."
Instantly, instantly, right away. Just like I still remember the one time he grabbed grabbed Timmy's. Started swinging like a baseball bat. He goes, we got better lumber in here for you. It's incredible stuff. He's 877-794-1973.
We're lucky to have his energy and his personality, obviously, and what we do. But I think the fans are too. The whole Pocket Pancakes. There's been so many special moments around the team besides just winning. Now, winning, of course, is the catalyst and the conduit for all of this, because it wouldn't be as fun without winning. And the Brewers have been doing it all year, but it is pretty special to have a guy like that. And that's why you hope. And I noticed, Billy, not to get into it too much yet, because I know we will. I noticed there weren't too many people complaining about his managerial decisions in Game 5.
Not as many.
No,
not as many.
But there were some.
I was ready to, though.
Yeah, that's fine. And I want to talk about all this. Yeah.
I mean, if the top of that Cubs order in the 8th inning ends up doing something against Abner Uribe, you want to talk about second guessing to the moon, bringing your closer in the 8th inning. Luckily, Chad Patrick has turned into maybe the best 39 pitcher in Brewers postseason history.
A 39 you can count on, man. Goodness. A 39 that's an actual Bulldog and not just,
Didn't Corbin Burns wear that number?
That's the joke.
Oh,
I'm working out. Yeah, that's it. That's good. Well, I kind of got to defend you here a little bit, Luddy, because you weren't on with us when I was kind of making.
I think.
No, I got total joke, and I totally agree with you, Armin.
Keep going.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you now. But he does kind of look like a Corbin Burns clone, the way he pitches the face.
A little bit.
Except with that 98-mile-an-hour cutter, maybe didn't have that. I mean, Corbin's stuff is nasty.
At some point, he might develop it.
Yeah.
He might be able to develop that cutter, no doubt about it. 877-794-1973. I want to know, was it worth it? I heard everybody say it was going to be way too stressful. I can't handle this. I can't handle the Brewers playing the Cubs. I think it was exactly what I would have dreamed it was, and maybe even a little bit more. You let them build up as much belief that they were coming in for the greatest comeback maybe in their playoff lives. The amount of Cub fans that did get there and then had their money spent in Milwaukee on Saturday night, probably went out and grabbed a sandwich or a meal beforehand. But let the toll booth hit you in the tailpipe on the way back to Illinois. And that was an incredible finish. And we'll talk about it throughout the morning with you at 877-794-1973. Talk some Packers football as well. Their 27-18 victory left a little bit to be desired. Matt LaFleur, though, not going to apologize for it, and nor will you at 877-794-1973. We'll talk to Scott Dolphin on the other side as well. It's the No BS Morning Show. Armin Sari and Billy Schmidt with you on the game.
From the Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha Total Traffic Center.
Travel rolling off pretty decently on the northbound side of 43 from the Marquette Interchange to Brown Deer, taking just 9 minutes. Southbound bypass, not seeing any issues between the Zoo Interchange and Hale Interchange, and northbound 4194 are right near 7 Mile Road. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
It's Brian Butch for Window Nation. October is here and the weather is fantastic. And well, you want to be worried about your Milwaukee Brewers. You don't want to be worried about, oh, is the weather going to be bad? Are my windows going to crack? Is the cold air going to come in? No. Window Nation is a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, and that's what you want to focus on. You do not want to be focusing on your windows. So make sure you reach out to windownation.com, because right now this month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free. There's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1 day. Yes, 1 day installation. Very simple. So make sure you go visit windownation.com right now. Get your estimate. Make sure you take care of this great deal now through October 31st. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free now, plus pay nothing for 2 years with Window Nation. Worry about the Brewers, not your windows. Go visit them at windownation.com.
Could your vehicle's sound system use an upgrade? At Charisma Customs, we can help. Upgrade your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. From a simple stereo install, adding Apple CarPlay, or adding a subwoofer, Charisma Customs can transform your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. Don't like speeding tickets? We also install radar and laser defense systems. Enjoy your ride and stay protected. Call Charisma Customs today, 262-444-2525, or check us out at charismacustoms.com.
Hey guys, Billy Schmidt. Football season is the best time to bet, and the best place to bet in the Midwest is at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trust me, I've played a lot of different places, and the home of big wins and a bumpin' atmosphere is the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A nearly 2,000 square foot video wall, 100 different kiosks to get in all your plays, and maybe 1 or 2 parlays of the day. Catch the game at the bar or reserve your spot in the middle of the action at Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Build out your bets, reserve your spot, and bet above the rest at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Every morning, we rise and shine. Make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Watching a few showers move through our area this morning. Once they're done, we should see partly to mostly cloudy conditions and highs in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, likely near 50 with 40s inland, and then chance of showers again tomorrow by late in the day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling. Don't be that family with no heat Christmas morning. First Choice's season tune-up includes full safety check and combustion analysis for $89 off. Call First Choice Heating and Cooling today.
Hey, what's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. If you get injured, it's Nicolay time.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Live radio, 24/7 news, live sports,
and your favorite podcasts.
A pure connection to what moves you.
The best part, it's all free.
Join the millions who already have it on their smartphone. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN, every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Y'all ready for this?
And he pulls this one deep to left center, way back, and gone! And Vaughn with a try, left field, pretty deep, this ball is gone! And Terang drives one, center field, way back there, gone! Comes down their final out, Carson Kelly, grounded to short. Ortiz makes the play. Ball game over. The Brewers will play for the pennant.
Inject it into your veins like a hot cup of coffee this morning. Brewers are playing for the National League pennant. Starts tonight against the reigning, defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Blake Snell, the former Cy Young Award winner, will be on the bump for the Dodgers. Tonight for the Crew, well, we'll find out. We'll find out. That's why we have more fun with it. Why know the answer to that question when you could wait until they put out the roster and the lineup later on today? Scott Dolphin comes in here rocking the October baseball shirt.
Let's go.
Celebrating a Brewers victory on Saturday night, Dolph. I saw a bunch of different people's rankings as to what level, what number of the best Brewers game they've ever been to, or the best Brewers win of all time.
Which I love, by the way. I love, you know me, I love Mount Rushmore talk.
I like us ranking it immediately following the game.
Right. When there wins, I love talking about it, you know?
Much better, but dang, it's hard to get a whole lot better than beating your rival in a win or go home game at your own park.
It was a pleasant surprise for me. You know, we as Brewers fans, we get that sense of dread where here we go again. The Cubs have won the last two. You look at the track record for the last several years. Oh God, it's going to go 5. We're not going to come out on top. So that was nice. And the way they win it with 3 solo shots,
tremendous,
unheard of. Nobody had that on their bingo card.
Well, that's what I thought was pretty remarkable too. The way they were able to lean into the power and not for nothing. They did have traffic on the bases, but yeah, it was the home runs and it was the
Do you appreciate them making us right a little bit, Armin?
I do a little bit.
I mean,
I didn't care how.
Yeah. Oh, well, 100%.
If we walked 100 guys in and that's how we won, I wouldn't have cared. So I know why you're asking that, because it's a good question. But there are people that care about being right more than, and I truly don't, as long as my team.
But
wins.
I don't mind being right.
I don't mind being right. I don't mind being right. I like at least at the point where you can defend your logic for why you had the point originally. But I thought that was interesting. I thought the way that that Murph deployed the pitchers was also pretty interesting, and some I wasn't totally confident about We touched on one of them a little bit, Billy, but I thought that was an interesting point too.
I was grumbling a little under my breath the way McGill smoked that lineup in the first. I thought, why not bring him back out in the second? He's jacked, and then of course, Miz gives up the bomb. I'm like, oh, Murph, what to do? Okay, settle down, Scott. Settle down. It was fine.
It almost was perfect for Mizorowski to get one taken into the Cub bullpen on his second pitch, though, because it did feel like the all right, impending doom.
Take a deep breath.
Out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a deep breath. Still an even ball game. And I thought that was an interesting part of when he gets brought in game 2 was some countered the idea that was according to plan in a tied game. You don't want to bring him in a tie game. Well, now you brought him in a lead, and then 2 pitches later, it's no longer a lead, right? So you can change and craft how the momentum of the game would have played. Either way, Dolph, he gives you 4 innings of 1-run ball and is just dynamite. Chad Patrick is elite in that moment.
How about that guy?
I mean, you were singing his praises a week ago. He pitches in 4 of the 5 games as a dude that has been a starter all year long to just flip into a leverage bullpen arm. That's an impressive thing for a young kid.
And the fact that not a lot was expected of him at the beginning of the season, right? I mean, okay, he started out of necessity because of injuries.
Big time, yeah.
But you can see how electric his stuff is in rising to the occasion in a playoff appearance the way he threw the other night, and that whole series was unbelievable.
He was their minor league pitcher of the year a year ago and had just a disgusting season in the minors. Like his numbers were beyond impressive in 2024, where he's 14-1, under 3 ERA, struck out just a ton of guys, 140 and 136 innings, but he was just dynamite after being kind of a middling prospect for a while. And you don't know when it flips for guys, right? And I think that's one part of the, culture of the Brewers that people have definitely pounded their chests and definitely enjoyed a ton of. But there's ways to be able to motivate and inspire, and it's impressive when you're able to capitalize on somebody's best performance, and you never know when it's going to end up happening.
And Murph has just been a genius when it comes to capitalizing and the lineups he's put out there. And it's going to have to be the same way in the NLCS. The Dodgers, their rotation is set. They know who they're throwing out there in games 1, 2, and 3. Us, not so much, including tonight, right? Is it going to be Quintana? Would you guess? Or
my thought was it would be Priester than Freddie, but Quintana's obviously another option as well. So I kind of like the idea of pitching Priester at home, Quintana on the road, but I'm also the guy, and Billy knows this, that whatever role my guys are put in, I like to believe they're good enough at their best to perform their best and get it done. So
yeah,
we'll
MLB app this morning has a TBA.
Yeah.
CBS Sports app has Quintana already penciled in.
Interesting.
In their lineup as a starting pitcher tonight.
Yeah, and it was tough because as the media availability is going down yesterday, we're up at Packers and Bengals and trying to have as much dedicated eyes onto that, but it was hard not to be interested in what was going on baseball wise. And I think it's so top of mind for everybody that when you get into the first round, it's all right, wake me up when it's real. Now it feels like all Brewers fans and even more casual people that were a little bit more deflected or guarded with their attention span might wait until after a Dodgers series. Like, all right, well, you're going to lose to Los Angeles. There's no way they can beat the Dodgers. They win 1 game here at home. Dare I say they win both? And quickly the fever is going to get caught, I think, by everybody across the city.
Yeah, big time. And I know you can't put a lot of stock into what happened during the regular season, but the games here were kind of close. They kind of kicked their ass when they were out in LA.
They beat the brakes off of them.
They did.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. You're right. I don't know what that means for this, other than at least you have deep down some confidence.
Yeah. Exactly right. They're huge underdogs. What's Vegas saying?
They were minus 225 was what I saw yesterday. Is it worse, Armin?
It's minus 225, I believe, still, but it moved initially. It was like minus 250, and the Brewers were like plus 195. So I think a lot of people were jumping on that number. If they could at that point, let's see if it changed at all here. Now it's saying minus 225, Brewers plus 175 now. So it adjusted a little bit, but I get why the number's that way, but you probably don't see it that often for a team that won all 6 meetings against one team.
It's been a while since a team repeated, right? When was the last team that repeated? That's what the Dodgers are up against.
It's been a long time. I want to
Yankees.
Was it that long ago?
I think maybe it was. The Royals went to back-to-back series.
Royals went to back-to-back, didn't do it. The Giants had the 3 and 5 years. They would then miss the playoffs in between those different seasons that they didn't win it.
The Yankees was what, 90? Late
96, 96, 98, 99,
99,
2000.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
won 4.
So 99, 2000. So you're talking, it's been 25 years since the team repeated as champion of baseball, if that's
Luckily,
right.
the Department of Corrections
Yeah.
on the talking text line is going to help us out there.
Okay, good.
877-794-1973. 262 said, I was there. I stress drank. I couldn't eat. I paced. I covered everything on my face except for my eyes 1,000 times. I told my wife what was happening when she couldn't watch. And then it happened. We won. It was the greatest relief I've ever had concerning sports in my entire
That's
life.
awesome. You know, it's weird for me when I'm there, and I'm going to be there tonight. It's weird for me. I don't get nervous watching my team when I'm at the event. If I'm at home in my family room, I'm pacing, I'm biting my nails. I don't know why that is. I get more nervous watching my team on TV than I do when I'm actually at the event.
And it is the Yankees, by the way, that 99, 2000.
Damn,
those
being
three.
right.
Yeah, I can't believe I actually can.
Damn, Armin, twice in one segment. We got to celebrate this more often.
Well, you got to be good at what you're good at.
Hey,
So
we got to help ourselves out here. All right. We need to celebrate ourselves at all costs.
I just want to make sure I got it right, because you can't be Steve Novak and miss free throws, because then what are you out there for? Because if you're supposed to be great at something, yeah. So I think part of that maybe is, the ball player mentality. Like once the game's tipped off, the nervousness goes away and it's just instinct. Is maybe there's some of that too, as being a fan in the ballpark. Yeah. Also, I think any good broadcast when you're watching on TV, Billy, we love this, will heighten the intensity of the drama of the game, and the way the broadcaster set it up will get you in that nervous feeling. When you're at the game, unless you're listening to it, obviously, on headset, there is none of that. You're your own commentary, which I kind of like.
Who do we get, by the way? Who's on the call?
BA.
Yeah.
Good.
That's awesome.
He was doing American League. He was epic, by the way, in that 14-inning or 15-inning game.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. That was a wild, wild scene. I mean, if there was ever a better example, at least in my humble opinion, for the Manfred rule in the regular season, is that game. If that happens in the middle of June, I'm looking around saying, all right, 2 7th-inning stretches, that's the best part of the game.
Right.
That's a playoff game, and it's one of the best results of all time. If that happens in June, I'm like, damn, there's 2 guys that are going to get cut here. There's 2 guys that are going to lose their jobs because they got to get sent out after this.
So that thing gets under. Thank God they're in Seattle, but then they got to get on a plane and get a shower, get on the plane, and fly across the country and get ready for a game 36 hours later.
But to your point, at least everyone's like, yeah, this is like the most important game of the year, so it makes sense. And you're right; it's almost a better, it's a better argument for the Manfred rule in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And no more sitting around in those 17-inning regular season games that I worked once with Richie Sexton was 0-for-7, and we lost.
We're waiting for Martin Maldonado
Oh
to hit a walk-off home run on Mother's Day, and I'm doing a post-game show like, Mom, don't worry, you can eat the ham. I'll get there at some point. Don't worry about it. At some point, it'll get better.
With the pink bat.
Yeah, that was the Bill Hall moment.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I had to ask you this about, we didn't get to this yet. A lot of people going back and forth about sportsmanship with the L flag. I thought it was funny. Come on, take a little laugh. This is obviously the trolling generation.
Jake Bowers, right? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Jake. He went over and said, well, I promise I'll give it back.
I promise I'll give it back.
He snagged it and took
Your
it.
thoughts on the whole thing? Was it a big deal? Was it all fun and games? Is it part of the conquest of beating your rival?
I mean, I don't know. Would I have done it? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm Iowa nice. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, and that was the part of it. The Iowa nice. I didn't even see the Hawks take a full victory lap. Like those boys were very nice on Saturday night, even after they took the Badgers to the absolute woodshed, Dolph. I had a lot of ideas as to how that game was going to get played.
I was jacked up to start.
Never
but
went there.
After the end of the second quarter, I thought this Wisconsin team is just lost right now.
It was
There's
crazy.
no discipline. There's no game plan. I mean, it's just you can't take a lot of happiness out of that as an Iowa fan. You're happy to get the win.
Yeah. Oh, so it was almost like you felt bad at some point. It was like you were in. I don't know if you're familiar with the South Park sketch where Dan Snyder defends the Washington football team at the time. Their honor by the Dallas Cowboys, and just gets bludgeoned by the 11 guys on the team, and everyone in the crowd saying, "Please make it stop, make it stop!" After it's 30-0 after their first drive in the second half.
There's nobody there for the jump around.
That's what surprised me. I think. Well, that's not what surprised me the most, but that's one of the things that surprised me.
You would have thought someone pulled the fire alarm after jump around. I mean, it was instant after that. It was tough, man, and to see though, I appreciate a thick six. I'm always going to.
Oh, yeah.
Big boy. Aaron Graves. When a big man is going to be able to take one back.
6'5", 295.
When he picks off back-to-back passes, that might be one of the best moments that any defensive lineman's ever going to have.
He's impressive. He'll play in the NFL. He's impressive. He can get after the quarterback for a big fella. But, yeah, I mean, Iowa defense played well. The running game was good, but I don't know how good the Wisconsin
That's
is
going to get
against
questioned.
against the run. I mean, they were good against some bad teams to start the season. And then Michigan lit them up last week. I don't know what you do if you're the Badgers. Do you blow it up now? Do you let things ride till the end of the season? I don't think they're going to win another game.
That's Dolph. That was the very, very frustrating conversation we were having on the post-game show. That this post-game show host generally likes to find the wins, hunts the wins.
You've been doing a great job, Billy. Let me tell you, you've been doing a great job in this situation.
The hunters out there understand this feeling. There's nothing showing up on the trail cam.
Nah.
Like I'm sitting here watching the tape back, and I'm struggling to find the antlers walking through.
Yeah, I hear you.
Is there a porcupine or something out
Is
there?
there any ruffling of the feathers? Are we seeing anything? There's no motion here. So just get a gust of wind and get one in. Damn, I mean, Washington's going to walk in there ranked. They're going to go to number one and at one point, number 1 and number 2 teams in the next 2 weeks. And now Indiana apparently is the best team in the Big Ten.
Awesome.
So that's going to be fun.
They're damn good.
It's a tough scene. That was an impressive win by them.
Really was.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I knew they'd keep it close after watching them at Iowa the week before. They're tough. They're hard-nosed on defense, and they've got weapons. Those receivers are big and fast, and then you got a quarterback that might win the Heisman this year. So yeah, they could win. They could win it all. They could run.
And if he doesn't win the Heisman, he's going to win Interview of the Year once again, all the time. My guy Mendoza, man,
he's great.
He's funny. He's funny, but he draws me in with his emotion and his intense, earnest passion for what he's doing. Billy knows I love this guy, and I don't usually have man crushes on college football guys as much, but this is the one I've been.
Is he going to be 1-1 in the NFL draft?
People have talked about it. I don't think he's the betting favorite, but he's in the mix. I think people have talked about him being the top overall pick. Billy.
He's definitely going to be in the conversation. He's going to be hard to deny for the Heisman right now.
Yeah.
And did you see Jen's story with him on game day?
Yeah, so I went back. You alerted me to it. I didn't get to see it live. I did get to go back and see it. I mean,
I was not familiar with that. His brother is now the backup quarterback at Indiana. His brother was at Indiana, and when he was transferring, it was one of the things that was drawing him there. Was his brother's like, "Yeah, come on in here. I'll learn from you. That'd be awesome."
Because I don't know if you remember, but after where I started really loving this guy was his interview after the Cal game when he was with Cal and they won a big game.
Oh yeah,
and he started crying with the reporter. I'll never forget me and my boys going 95 yards. We worked so hard. We went to camp. I'm like, dude, are you being? Because how can you leave this program after you dropping all this now, like this passion on me? But then that brought me back because I'm like, oh, because his brother's there.
Caught you right in.
So now I'm real back in on this guy. So it was pretty awesome.
After the Iowa game, he apologized to everybody because he took the safety, he took the knee in the end zone and
ruined the number.
Sorry, everybody.
Incredible guy.
Also flying west to Oregon. I mean, that's impressive stuff that they were able to do. So
really is in that atmosphere where I'm sure a lot of them have never played before. Well, he probably did going to Cal.
I was going to say he might have played there. Yeah,
but,
might have played there.
So impressed with them. And you know what, Wisconsin fans, it could be worse. You could be a Penn State fan where you're preseason number 2. You think you're going to be playing for the Natty. Oregon comes to town, and since then, it's all gone to hell.
Yeah, that might be worse. Unfulfilled expectations. I think that's where it's totally might be worse.
Everybody thinks Drew Aller's maybe going to be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, I'm going to take a trip to the semifinal. If that's the penance you have to pay to be one play away from the national title game, I might take it.
Yeah, that's right.
But
That's true. They were there last year.
I like that shaping of the idea. That's a much better place to live in, Dolph. Thank you very much. And that's exactly why Screamin' Sicilian brought you in. Your headlines with Scott Dolphin, brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Pizza.
Where does James Franklin end up?
I think he'll have a lot of.
There might be a couple of teams in the Big Ten that have openings.
Yeah.
Well, Penn State hopes that happens soon because I think his buyout is $1 million if he lands with another team next year. Otherwise, they got to pay him close to $50 million.
You would see me enjoying the greatest beach of all time.
Yeah,
I would be soaking up every single bit of that.
Which he's like Marvin Lewis. It's so hard to figure out what his career is because you win so many games, but you never win when it matters. It's so hard to figure out a guy like that.
Big game, James.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse coaches in college football, though.
Yep.
And Penn State might learn that. They just might learn that. There's a lot worse coaches in college football than James Franklin.
Well, and that's the risk they're taking.
Big time.
Good one to have. Dolph, always appreciate it, brother. This is so much fun to be able to do. Hopefully, when you come in here tomorrow, stepping after a Brewers Game 1 victory at American Family Field. Enjoy it tonight, man.
Yeah, I might look a little rugged, but thank God. Thank you, baseball gods, for a 7:08 first pitch and not 8:08 like last week. That was rough. Climbing in bed about midnight.
Could not agree with you more. Enjoy a couple of cold ones for us.
We'll do, fellas.
All right,
See you
buddy.
tomorrow.
There you go. There's Scott Dolphin hanging out with us here. Brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian. We're going to enjoy some Screamin' Sicilian on the other side because Victory Chicken Monday should include chicken. There's no chicken in the building.
Yeah, I think that's
you know what
gonna
there
be
is?
important.
Hot screaming Sicilian pizza. So we're enjoying it in hour number 1. It's the No BS Morning Show. Tim Allen joins us in 20 minutes on the game.
You don't have to be going for the largest personal injury verdict in state history to call us, or the largest product liability verdict in state history. But just in case it gets that big, we're the ones most qualified to handle it. Since 1930, our firm has handled and won the largest personal injury cases in Wisconsin history. And we want to handle your car accident case too. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
KB.
Yes, Drew.
Cooler temperatures, October baseball, fall football. Does it get any better?
Well, actually, it does get better. Now through October 19th, Iron Jock is offering you 30% off the best hoodie on the planet with the code HOODIE30.
Sweat wicking, odor fighting, 4-way stretch comfort, and built to last.
Plus a free beanie, cuz why not?
Iron Jock hoodies, 30% off with the code HOODIE30. Now through October 19th.
Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
You'll love your new Iron Jock hoodie.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Our Geis team understands that when it comes to your business commercial garage doors, toughness and durability are the names of the game. We partner with CHI Overhead Doors for high-speed application installs. They're resettable and they go up and down super fast and constructed only using the finest raw materials and customized with computer-aided precision, ensuring each commercial door we sell or install is delivered on time and with care. Call us to get a quote and schedule your new CHI Overhead Doors commercial installation. Call 262-784-4250 or online at geisstores.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For CHI Overhead Doors.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here. Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year. More impressive is Victor Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024. It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards. It's not boastful considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know 2 attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare. Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case. Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation. Injured? It is about the money. Warshawski.com. That's Warshawski.com.
5 words no one wants to hear. You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Drew Olson from 97.3 The Game, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Semperfi Roofing, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Semperfi has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates, for a limited time, Semperfi is offering 5-year no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Semperfi Roofing has got your back. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection to assess the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. Call 262-600-2910 or go online to Semperfi.com. That's Semperfi.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
We know that the people of Milwaukee are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. 1 call, that's all.
You
like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Good morning to you. 646, No BS Morning Show. Billy and Sarian with you, produced by Andrew Ludwig here inside the all-new Iron Jock Studios. 877-794-1973, the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line. Jason in Waukesha, Armin, hits us up.
What up, Jason?
Said, in regards to the Dodgers, they're beatable, though, which we have proven. Come into our town. We'll see what's up.
Come into our town and we'll see what's up.
Our team, our town. You step into these streets and see what's happening. Jake, Waukesha, love it, brother. Let's go.
Team, our town, man. They're going to make me want to get John Henson and throw the first pitch out here or something like that, you know?
I'll mess around and we just might. Maybe Terry Stotts.
I'll never forget going to opening.
Porter, pardon me.
Terry Porter was actually, I thought, a good coach. I
Porter.
thought Terry shouldn't have been let go as soon as he did.
He had a good culture. I mean, for what talent they had on that team, he actually made them have like 43 wins every year. It was like, wow, Terry, you're actually a good ball coach.
And then there were the years where, I went to opening night Bucks game. I'm ready to go, hopeful, as I always am for a new season, believing that this group of whatever players you have is going to work. And then Keon Dooling takes the mic.
Yeah.
I'm like, Keon Dooling's our guy.
What are you saying about 55?
I love 55, but if he's the guy that's,
I don't drive
if we're
55.
marketing Keon Dooling, I'm like, this might be a long year. You know, that was kind of where I thought
that
of it.
high voice.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything about it outwardly. I thought that
It's
inwardly.
internalized.
'Cause I don't want
issues
to.
and
I don't
questions.
want to show it. I don't want to show that I'm not believing. I don't want to verbalize that I don't believe. But sometimes deep down you wonder. And I know Brewers fans were wondering deep down when Seiya hit that home run.
Oh, you know
what I
there
mean?
was a lot of it.
There was a
right?
lot of it, and that's fair.
I can only imagine the amount of people that said, "Here we go again." It's Yelich all over again, right? Because it's game 1 or game 7 of 2018, first inning, solo shot from your guy who. Now, granted, the difference is William Contreras has been an absolute stud during the postseason.
So good and so clutch.
That was really the one moment that Yelich kind of had in the 2018 playoffs, even though he was the best player on the planet.
Yeah, he had one against the Rockies in game 1, 2. I want to say, am I wrong? I thought he had a homer.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like big moments of
Sure.
it, right?
Yeah.
The Moustakas one in game 1 against the Rockies,
Yeah.
what do you think of? But you're exactly right. It wasn't his only hit.
But he had a game 7 homer is a biggest one. Yeah.
Yes. And that was the time where like, all right, finally we're getting it from our guy. And this is how it's going to turn around. When Contreras hits the solo shot, this is what we need. Mizorowski walks in 2 pitches later. Even Steven. I was proud though. Now, granted, as dual attention as you had to have for a little bit of the time, Badger game was still somewhat, you could say, in question at the time when that first part happened.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a 2-score game.
It was. It was
a
the
2-score
mix.
game.
I'll be honest with you, Billy, and I hate saying this because you probably shouldn't, but at this point, I'm just going to be honest. I was kind of unplugged on the Badgers in that moment.
You were
okay,
not the only one.
Okay, so I wasn't necessarily too TV in it. I was following the score, but sometimes the timing didn't quite match up with it. But it was sort of in cool. Yeah, it was still up for grabs there.
They give up 17 points in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Not to make this Badger conversation. We want to make this Brewer conversation.
For
but
right now,
we
yeah.
did even have one of our friends on the talking text line hit us up at 877-794-1973. Say jump around. stay until jump around. Nick in Sussex. My buddy and I left in the first quarter, hit Jordan's Big Ten pub for the entire Brewers game, and it was electric. I got the same report from my brother-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I texted him right after jump around. I was like, you and your crew just leave. He goes, a little earlier. Trust me, you were not the only one. And there was a lot of people that headed for the exits at that point. But nobody was heading for the exits at American Family Field. Seemed like there were some people that were resisting standing up as much as maybe I anticipated there would be at the place. That's not as big of a deal to me. I know some people make it their deal, right? You know, why are we not standing the entire game?
Some people made a big deal out of it for 48 hours.
I definitely would like maybe a little bit more chanting, a little bit more let's go Brewers at some, key times in the lineup instead of just like randomly. But I thought the crowd was good. I thought the energy was phenomenal in there. And also, like Justin Nina said, I don't know that we've had a better Wisconsin sports moment that he's attended to in person since the playoff game against the game to get into the postseason against the Cubs in 2008 when CC Sabathia goes the complete game. It was just more of a release after the 26 years with no playoff appearances. But Saturday night was something special. The crowd, the atmosphere, the whole night, everyone on both sides were on the edge of their seat. Really something special, and glad I could be a part of the almost 43,000 of my closest friends that saw it. Go Crew.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's fantastic. I think a lot of people are sharing that. I personally, like I said, watching on TV, I thought the crowd looked great. It looked like people were standing a lot. I don't know who Mitch is, but behind the home plate, somebody with the I love you, Mitch sign. So
good night to be Mitch.
For all the Mitches out there, congratulations. It seemed good. Whether or not people were standing or sitting, I don't know. That's an ultimate anecdotal conversation that you have in your own little section of where you were sitting, but it seemed like people were standing. They got the Joey chants going for individual batters. The crowd seemed good to me on TV, and I'm not gonna come out here and rip on Brewers fans.
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Now TBS does seem to mute the crowd mic a little bit.
Terrible.
Okay,
it's terrible. It's not just here; it's at every stadium. It's like it feels like the guy's running the board for the first time.
The first time,
especially when I was hearing the reports of how loud it was at Wrigley, and I don't know, it was definitely loud on TV. It didn't resonate like that. They're like, this was some of the biggest pops that we've ever heard. So it definitely was a little bit muted.
Whatever mix they're trying to do, and this maybe becomes broadcasting nerd, they might have to fix, because you heard loud and clear when the umpire foul ball. You heard that one clear, but they couldn't get the crowd. That's how it sounded when they were doing that.
Maybe Brad Allen was doing the mic then.
Maybe Brad Allen was, because
my man could not figure it out yesterday on the microphone.
But when he did, at least I got all that wind noise. Thank you, Brad Allen, for that.
It was a windy day there yesterday.
It was breezy.
Breezy day. 877-794-1973. Ryan from the Wood. Wife and I were at the game on Saturday. We've been going to about 20, 25 games a year. Saturday's game energy and the roar of the final out was the best I've ever witnessed at that park. Let's go Crew.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It must have been awesome to be inside there. I go right to game 6 for the Bucks. So I was lucky enough to be inside there. I'm sure it was a similar type of atmosphere. Man, I feel like the burden lifted from all of us after that win was an incredible weight off our shoulders. And it's one of those you couldn't wait.
Release.
Couldn't release, couldn't free yourself until now. So let's take that freeing feeling into the NLCS tonight.
And let's take it into the second hour of the No BS Morning Show when Tim Allen, host of the Baseball Postgame Show, joins us on the other side. You were celebrating with him after the game Saturday night. We do coming up next right here on the game.
Try to set the night on fire.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Pretty steady in terms of traffic volume this morning. North and southbound 43 between the Marquette Interchange and Brown Deer remain incident-free. Although on the westbound side of 94, in fact, on the off-ramp to 25th, crews are working a crash. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships.
Push, pull, or drag in your trade and save with our $5,100 minimum discount on all used vehicles. This week at the Lynch family of dealerships in Burlington, Kenosha, McGuanago, and West Bend.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer, the originator, the inventor,
If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Cheer on the Packers as they take on the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday, October 19th, 3:25 p.m. kickoff. Grab your friends and head to Lefts in Wauwatosa, Sussex Bowl in Sussex, Kanicki's in Richfield, or Dugout 54 in Milwaukee for Miller Lite specials and promotions during all Packers games. Miller Lite. Tastes great, less filling. It's Miller time.
Go, Pack, go! Hey guys, Billy Schmidt. Football season is here, and you know I love to invest while watching it. Best place to do it in the Midwest? The Potawatomi Sportsbook, a Vegas-style sportsbook in the comforts of home, and the best place to bet on football this year is at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Almost 100 different kiosks to get your plays in, and you can catch the game at the bar or reserve your spot in the middle of the action. Learn more and reserve your spot at Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. If the game's on, get in on the action at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
The teams are ready to go. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. Blue and gold flag out front. Check. Grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check, and check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to complete your Milwaukee baseball party or tailgate. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your Milwaukee baseball playoff party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2.
Discount Liquor.
It's Brian Butch for Window Nation. October is here, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, that's a big deal. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest every night at 6.
Well, listen to Suck and Bet Better. How's that?
On Fox Sports 920. Broadcasting live from the top of the ratings.
How's the air up there?
This is WRNW Milwaukee. 97.3 The Game. Number 1 for sports and stuff.
You know, I admire the guys in the clubhouse, what they've overcome, what they're about, the who. I say that a lot. I hope I'm understood, but I understand myself, but I'm not sure anybody else does. But the who that they are impresses the hell out of me. Just like how they go about their business, how they show up to perform every day, what they talk about, how they care about each other.
How they talk about each other, well, they got the power of friendship, so it's as good as you possibly could have. But all teams at this point are really a special group. You know, everybody in there is about the right stuff. We're super tight
together.
Yeah, right. Everybody's got those kind of moments. Everybody's a tight-knit group that gets here because you go through such a special moment of winning a playoff series, or, you know, in the Dodgers case too, to get to this spot that absolutely you've been through some stuff. You've already been through the longest regular season in North American professional sports.
That's a good point.
That it hardens you for the surrendering to the mystique of October, right? Like, so you have to be a very close-knit unit to get to this point, but I do love that. You know,
just once I'd like to hear Timmy say, you know, like, we're at this point where we don't really get along well, but we've been really good.
There's actually just a fight in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
You just
we work
missed
out.
it.
I don't see us being friends after this year. I don't see us kind of lasting, right?
I'm not getting the baseball signed by all the 26 guys on this team.
I'll tell you about it on a podcast 10 years later.
If there would be a station baseball signed here at the game, this man would be on everybody's baseball because nobody would want to forget about how the way being a teammate of Tim Allen's would make them feel. And Tim Allen joins us right now. Stranglehold on the first round was the statement from Alex on TBS broadcast. Timmy, do they got to go up 2-0 to get a stranglehold, or just win game one and a lead into game two, and maybe BA drops that for you and for the Open next year?
Yeah, maybe. I was hoping Fox would have the NLCS, but
What?
we get Brian Anderson, so that I just didn't want the same dudes.
Right, you didn't want Darling with no, but we get
that's
BA.
fair. Yes.
I think
I'm
it's
with you on
also a good take, a fair take to say we love BA, but maybe not TBS's production. Is that one of those?
Well,
one?
Production is one thing. I don't think, you know, again, I go back to, and look, I'm not in TV, I'm in radio, so I don't know. But doesn't it seem like the Facebook, the YouTube, the Amazon, all the other platforms, even now when you look at TBS, the mic placements are just, they're not capturing what's going on in the stadiums.
Well, we were having a little bit of that conversation previously where it seemed from all the reactions from people there, outside of a couple of people that were upset, I thought it was loud and it was incredible, but it didn't give off that full nuts chaotic energy.
Yep.
Even at Wrigley, Timmy, I had the same critique. I mean, like, people in Chicago were calling it as loud as it was in 2016, like some of the loudest it's ever been at Wrigley. I didn't get that off the TV broadcast. Kind of did more on the radio side.
On the radio, yes. And Kent Sommerfeld did an amazing job in this series.
Right,
He did.
He's the pro, yeah.
He did, because there's been times where, you know, when the crowd gets into it a little bit, the play-by-play is buried just a bit. But he did in this series. It was amazing. It was really cool. I'm still living on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Higher than a kite.
I'm with you, Timmy. Was it more euphoria? Yeah. Was it more euphoria or relief or a mixture of both? How can you describe it for you and for Brewers fans? Because you had a great show on Saturday night, and I felt all the emotions of that burden sort of being lifted from Brewers fans.
One of the biggest wins in franchise history.
Easily.
And I didn't realize it until, Armin, it's funny you say to talk about the show on Saturday. I did not realize that until maybe 45 to an hour into the show. And I'm like, wait a second here. This might be one of the biggest wins in franchise. Hold on. It is. I think one of our callers had said it's the second biggest win in franchise history. Because if you look at the walk-off against the Diamondbacks, okay, it wasn't the Cubs, right? If you look at the walk-off against the Rockies, well, they were already up 2-0.
Yeah,
it wasn't
the closeout game.
The closeout game, yep.
Yeah, it wasn't a lose or go home type of
And
situation.
they were all NLDSs, so at that point the stage is the same. So when you do it against your rival in a game 5, yeah, absolutely. I guess game 5.
Did you just throw all of it out from 82?
No, well, that's the number one, right?
That's the number one.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I also would say winning to go up 3-2 in the series would also be right. Like winning games in the World Series would be a part of that one. But we just throw that whole series gets thrown out.
That's a good question. That's a good
Yeah,
question.
Good question. Yeah, I mean that one may rank up there. Well, it does rank up there, but against the Angels to get into the World Series, that's number one.
That's easily
100%.
It's got to be. Yeah.
It is interesting though, Timmy, because I liked watching people try to put it in. And because everybody wanted to have their receipt. This is the greatest postseason game in franchise history. I appreciated that we were getting to that moment, though, and we were realizing, because sometimes we say, we want to know when it's the good times, and I wish I knew that these are the good days. That's a glory day. That is one to be able to remember. We had Shane the Hodag on the Talking Text line say, taking my freshman out of high school to attend game one tonight. We went to game one together against the Dodgers in 2018. That was the Woodruff walk-off for against Kershaw, making memories. And that's what this one's about. This allows you to have another week and a half of memories. And I heard you say that on the post game where this now gets you this is a little longer series regardless of the outcome. And it's another week and a half to enjoy the Milwaukee Brewers and the communal experience that has become it, because it's really cool to be talking and liking the Brewers right now.
Yeah. At Final Four. I mean, think about it. I mean, they're on the highest platform to this point that a baseball team can be at, yet they still look at, the Dodgers as this, here we go. Some fans would. But I don't think so. You find a way. I had a feeling on Saturday they would find a way. Now, was I nervous? Oh, of course.
Are you skeptical, Billy? Are you skeptical of that take?
Who would get it done on Saturday? You were really confident in?
No, I wasn't really confident.
Okay.
I was just saying somehow they would something tells me they're going to find a way.
My boy was an absolute basket case when I talked to him at about 4:30. But that was right after you got off of Chicago radio, just dunking all over the voice of the Chicago Bulls, which we really appreciated. Yes, he did.
He started it.
Listen, Chuck Swirsky's a nice guy, but I love the way you gave it back to him.
I'm Chuck Swirsky. It's Chicago Bulls radio.
No, he's great.
You gotta be kidding me with this. You want a man to lose his job?
I do.
You want him to get fired? I don't think I've ever heard somebody come on a radio station that I've been hosting on in my 38 years of being in broadcasting and say that they want somebody fired. And Tim's just like, yeah, I do want him fired. I want him to lose so much that he loses his job. Yes.
I mean, we're talking about counsel, and
he's going to eat. Yeah,
Chicago radio asking. My point was that he would fail as the Cubs manager.
Correct.
That was my point, and my point wasn't to, oh my God, how's he going to put food on his table and feed his family and all this? Look, he gets $40 million guaranteed, Swirsky.
Like they were ripping on me initially for cheering against Yoferi Rodriguez, just because I wanted the better of that trade, which is more of a fair point. I'd say he's got less money than Craig does.
Well, and here's the special nature of that win. Again, there are so many things. The first and foremost of advancing here in the 25 championship season, having a shot to get back to the World Series and win it. Okay, that's first, top of the list, everybody. Okay. After that, though, that victory over the Cubs gives us all another calendar year in which the Cubs are looking up at the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
And now a full calendar year, another season. We won't find out until August, September of next year if that worm's going to turn for the Cubs. That'll be 3 years in. Think about that. 3 years into Counsell being the manager of the Chicago Cubs, and the Cubs still looking up at the Brewers.
And the greatest part about that for me is they had a really good year. And most years that would be something he'd be able to celebrate. But the Brewers were able to take that shine away from the year for them because they had a really good year, a good team. They won a lot of games and all these things. But
move Sal Frelick to center field. You got Churio in left field and sign Kyle Tucker.
Oh boy, you got me wilding out now with that one.
No, thanks. I don't see the $400 million player there, Tim.
No.
Like, I mean, I definitely see a great baseball player. I 1000% do.
For sure.
I don't see the $400 million player. I see the contract with Juan Soto. I see it with the guy that's coming in here in Shohei Ohtani. I don't see it with him. Now, he's a phenomenal baseball player, and he'll get a great deal. But to your point, Dan, on the Talking Text line said, what big moments do the Cubs have over the Brewers in games that matter? 2008? 2018, 2025. Wait, who's your daddy? And I do think there's something to that, Tim, where and to Armin's point, you can't even really celebrate the good that they had this year. Instantly, he's asked about it on Saturday night. I thought Craig answered the question pretty well.
I agree.
When he's like, where are you in the process? We won 92 games. We're going to take that every year. However, we can't beat them, and that's the frustrating part right now.
Yeah, no, it is. And that to me is just, wow, we get another year of them being the little brother, at least a year. I mean, it's going to take a while. And then you turn over to the Dodgers and, you got to get that monkey off your back. This isn't Ryan Healy batting cleanup here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different dynamic against the Dodgers here. And Blake Snell, not a big fan of his. However, he is right on the money. He really is. I'm not buying this average Joe's and the little guy and things like that. He really is. I can appreciate those comments from Snell, although I don't like it.
Well, I like the way Murph is also trying to come back at them with, hey, you guys are America's team. Everyone expects you to do it. You get all the money.
The payroll.
It's kind of like I was telling Billy they're trying to out-compliment each other to soften the other side up, and I think it's kind of funny.
About $510 million full payroll. That includes the penalty taxes. The penalty taxes alone are $168 million, of which those are just the penalties.
Just the penalties that are paid to the rest of baseball, correct?
Yeah. $168 million just because they went over the caps.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. And the Brewers payroll right around $124, 120, somewhere in there total.
100%. The Dodgers are the great Goliath to be able to build the series as. And I am excited to see more and more of the national media start, discovering. Like watching Cowherd find out about the Brewers last week was awesome, right? Like I like it in real time. He's like, holy cow, this team's good. Wait, oh, wow, they're the best team in baseball. Sweet. Now the conversation will have to shift to how do they take down Timmy? It's the best team against the most talented one, right? Like I think you could stack this Dodgers roster up with the greatest that have ever been constructed in baseball. However, you got to beat them 4 times in 7 days. That's all. You don't have to beat them 10 times. You don't have to go 6-0 like you did earlier in the year, albeit against a battered version of this team, not the full strength one that they're at right now. But there's reason for optimism. And I know last week you had said, and you've said it now for a couple of months, I expect this team in the World Series.
I do.
I asked you the same thing this morning. Do you?
Yeah, I do. And find a way. You get outs and you take it one at a time. And that's where this team is pretty impressive. This Brewers team. They don't look ahead. It's sort of this win tonight. It's sort of win in the moment. You look at the Andrew Vaughn homer off Colin Ray.
Mm-hmm.
That was with 2 outs, nobody on, and then he's just working it. He's not chasing.
Yep.
He's working the count. He fouled off a pitch. He got to 2-2, took a tough pitch to make it 3-2, and then hit it out to untie that game. That's the winning home run right there. 2 outs, nobody on, mid-game. That's the way they got to win right now.
Yeah.
I would assume here pretty quick, and hopefully it's tonight, that you get a big crooked number here and bring the excitement again, but you got to get multiple runners on. That's tough.
Yes.
I was studying the Dodgers early this morning, and you're looking at these starters. They're good. Guys, they're good, and they get length out of them. However, once you get to that bullpen, all bets are off for that Dodger team. Yeah, they are. And so what's the trick then? Stay in the game into the 5th or 6th inning. Just stay in the game. Even if you're 2 down, I expect the Brewers to have a come from behind victory in this series.
Yeah,
off that bullpen.
Go ahead, Billy.
No, go ahead.
I'm with you with that. And I think more than anything, you have to make sure you're always grinding away your at-bats. This is the way the Brewers do it, and that's the way they've been doing it. they had the crooked number in game 1 of the Cup series here.
Yep.
So we have such a recency bias in these playoff series, but hopefully they can come out and do it again. That'd be pretty nice. So how's that summer of entertainment and passion going? Can we check in on that? How's everyone doing with that? This whole thing started with us being
brought up in our conversation on Saturday night.
Very upset in the winter time. This whole thing got started way back in the winter with people being very upset with things looking very bleak about it. How are things going? I wonder how many people might owe Mark an apology these days, because you can ask him to spend more money, and okay, we can ask that, but there's no way you're ever going to outspend the Dodgers. We all agree on that one too. So there's no way that's going to help you win a series like this. It seems like it's been going pretty well at this point.
Man, special season with special stories inside of it. And it just continues. It's just moving forward. I mean, who'd have thought? I mean, we're compiling the list and we get all that, but in the moment here now, it is about a World Series. And over the years, you guys hear it all the time. We hear it. We've talked about it a million times. Can you just break through and win a World Series once in a while?
Yeah, it's that easy.
Well, here you are. You're on the doorstep of that. You really are. You are as close as any other team here. Well, 3 teams. You're one of only 3 other teams that can say that we're on the doorstep of going to and ultimately winning a World Series. Soak this all in. And this is, you haven't seen this since 2018.
Yeah.
And you've had some, you got the monkey off your back in terms of winning a playoff series, because didn't we hear that all season?
Yes.
Well, they're not going to be, in my good graces until they win a playoff series here. Well, okay, check the box again. Another story in a special season.
That protected, guarded mindset can still probably live, and they will live it, Timmy, until they do something and probably win one of the next 2 games. But again, that is what it is. That's more of their prerogative. My question is, what's your plan going into tonight? Because as much as it gets laid out for tomorrow with Freddie Peralta being your game 2 guy on a regular rest, how are you attacking here game 1 with them having, a dude that's competed and won the Cy Young on the other side?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to stay consistent and disagree with Pat Murphy. So
you've been doing pretty good at doing that. So
I have been doing real
yes.
good at that. Why isn't it Jose Quintana? I mean, I'm not quite sure. You're going to have some starting pitching here, Murph.
Mm-hmm.
Although, hey, you went with the opener, got it done. It was brilliant. And he managed brilliantly yesterday. The other day.
Yeah,
Saturday.
100%.
It was just off the charts. Now, games 3 and 4, I wouldn't have done it. But here it's tough to argue. In Murph we trust, but I would suspect you could see McGill again.
I would
to
love
start
that.
this game tonight.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with that. Now, did you you mentioned it brilliantly managed. Armin's point, not a whole lot of second guessing since they win the game. I did say you would have had me lined up to potentially second guess if Abner Uribe in the 8th inning, after starting out basically 2-0 on everybody,
Exactly.
doesn't get out the lefties at the top of the order, Timmy. That is laying it on the table and putting your best guy out there at the time and saying, I'm going to live and die with this result.
Koenig, I thought it just slam dunk. Koenig, lefties, a couple of them at the top of the order, Bush and Tucker, and that just wasn't the case. He felt NLCS, guys, it got to Murph, and he said, if I'm going down with my big daddy at the end of the game. That was it.
Which I can't really blame him for. I thought it was ironic. We talk about process and results all the time. I thought it was ironic that the move, made sense in a lot of ways. He's your best guy. I'm going to just dump my bucket, empty the clip. And this is probably the worst Ebner's looked for a long time. He couldn't stay in the zone. Guys were getting hard contact. But it worked out. And what can you say about it other than I'm glad it worked out that way? I think another example, Murph puts in Miz for a bulk appearance. Did he know that Miz was going to place and control his curveball better than he has all year? It just works out that way sometimes. Sometimes your stuff comes together. You kind of have to allow the reality of that randomness to exist when you're making those type of decisions and say, I've done what I can. I'm making my decision with peace. and I'm letting the baseball gods let the rest fall where they may.
Well, and it finally comes down, Armin, to this togetherness. I mean, that's part of it, that these guys are, and don't mistake the little guy, the average Joes, as being inferior. Believe me, they have some confidence going here. There's no doubt in my mind that they know what's going on. They know they've got a shot at this thing. But in terms of the, everyday at bat, working on every pitch, stay in the fight, keep fouling off, that's not going to change.
No.
But that sight game of, internally in that clubhouse or between the ears, they know they're good. They do. The competitors like that, they know, and that can drive them also. I mean, you see the home runs being hit 7, in the 5 games. They know they're going to have to hit some home runs, and part of that, Billy, is staying in the fight, because the ball is going to find a barrel here. As long as you're fighting.
Especially in that park. I mean, in this park in particular. Now, maybe when you get to Dodger Stadium, it'll be a little bit different because it's so different day and night, and they'll play an afternoon game. I don't know how that'll play with the ball in the flight, but Timmy, it's pretty clear. Ball's going to travel here. We always have known it. You've talked about it in roster construction for as long as I've known you and been listening to you, like build a team that is going to take advantage of the park you're in. And I think they're in that exact spot.
Lead the league in batting average, team batting average, 258. Put guys on base in that little park, because the home runs from, guys like Caleb Durbin and Sal Frelick, Bryce Terang, they're going to fly out of the park. Yeah, the thump guys are going to get theirs too, but just put together contact and on base guys in a park like that, you get 81 games at home.
And now hopefully the home run for the teams, or the home run leading for the team that leads the league in singles on this side works a little bit better than it did last night for the team that led the American League in singles, because they get a solo shot on the first pitch that George Springer sees, and they get one hit the rest of the way out.
Wow. That's crazy. So we've got pregame coverage. I'll be doing the pregame show at 5:00 today, getting you ready for Brewers and Dodgers NLCS as the 25 championship season rolls into the NLCS.
Timmy, great show on Saturday. I can't tell you enough. It was so good, man. And it was so great. And the way, and you were so fired up. And when you do that, it gets everyone else fired up.
I can't help it, Armin. You guys know that.
That's why we love it. And I can't either. And that's why we love it. So that was the best. That was.
I want to call Chuck Swirsky, drop him a text. How did the Bulls do and the Cubs? How did they do over the weekend?
I actually got an update. 127-121. Bucks beat the Bulls last night in a preseason game that everybody was watching.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Timmy had Brian and Madison say one of my favorite things from the entire series was PCA jumping for the home run balls that were 30 feet over his head.
Throwing a tantrum after a flyout.
What was your favorite PCA moment of the NLDS?
When he actually thought it sent the message to me. He actually thought he was hitting a home run in that fly out the center.
Yes, he did. He did. He flipped it. He totally thought he hit one. It was glorious. The council cam going to continue into this weekend, or because we also had somebody say nice for Craig to at least admit he's still a Brewers fan when he said that he was going to LA right after Milwaukee. It was just because he was going to go cheer on his childhood team. Is there any way that you guys are going to be able to keep some council cam going into this NLCS, or all systems ahead to the Dodgers?
Would love to. There was a report from my guy, I won't say his name, but saw Mrs. Council walking out of the stadium to her car.
Well, they do live in town.
They do. After the ball game, with that really look on her face, like, I smell something bad around here.
Oh, there we go. Stink face.
Yeah, I'm sure she wasn't happy about it. I'm sure she wasn't happy about it.
Craig's not going to LA to interview for the Angels job, is he?
That's a fair point. They got money.
I'll
they got
find
money
out.
there. That's
True.
for sure.
I'll find out.
No, he's probably not.
Maybe
taking
that's his next challenge.
No, he's probably not taking that job.
That'll be.
They
David
don't have
Ross.
a manager.
Yeah,
they don't have somebody for him to take his job. That's already an active sitting guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I got Angels connections up. I'm just kidding. Whitefish Bay. Yeah. Well, I don't know where. I can't imagine he's walking the streets of Santa Monica Boulevard right now, or Bay Ridge, or Devon Street, or all those places, or Henry Clay.
No.
What about
Are you
Oakland
just
Avenue?
on maps looking at street names so
I'm
you
sure
can
it
sound
has to be.
cool like you know LA, or you just pull it out
No,
of
that's
thin air?
Whitefish Bay.
It's Whitefish Bay. You've never been to the great streets of the 4 mile by 4 mile square of Whitefish Bay?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
No,
to go
Billy
there
probably
again.
doesn't hang at the North Shore that much. He's we're from Greenfield, okay? It's Hell's Corner.
Just
So
an amazing win Saturday. Just amazing.
awesome.
Just crazy.
All right, Timmy, we'll be listening tonight live at 5 with some pregame getting into game one. We appreciate it, brother.
You got it.
There he is, Tim Allen, hanging out with us here on No BS. Always fun to get into some postgame while also pregame. It's a weird spot to be in because it sandwiches in a Packers game that was less than phenomenal, albeit a 2-score victory that should feel pretty workmanlike. We'll get into the Packers victory coming up on the other side. He's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. It's No BS on the game.
By now, we just sit around talking about the old times. She says when she feels like crying, she starts laughing, thinking about glory days. Yeah, pass you by glory days.
From the place you want to go, Lynch McGuanago Traffic Center.
Northbound 4145, 11 minutes from the Zoo Interchange into Good Hope. Southbound bypass in decent shape. A watch for authorities working a crash from westbound 94 on the off-ramp to 25th. And since it's on the off-ramp, no major delays along the main line. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Your new Dell PC with Intel Core Ultra helps you handle a lot when your holiday to-dos get to be a lot. Like organizing holiday shopping, responding to requests, and customers requesting custom things. Luckily, the Dell PC helps you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside. Get yours at Dell.com/deals.
KB, what's going on, my brother? It's happening. What? What's happening? The best time of year for Iron Jock Performance hoodies. Cooler temperatures, October baseball, fall football. Does it get any better than right now?
Well, yeah. Yes, it does. Now through October 19th, Iron Jock is offering you, our smart and good-looking listeners, the best hoodie on the planet for 30% less. Just use the code HOODIE30. Your hoodie price goes down 30%, and your hardest decision will be, do I go with blue, black, gray, or silver?
Wet wicking, odor fighting, 4-way stretch comfort, and built to last.
And you'll also get a free beanie with your hoodie order. No extra steps. They just toss it in like they know you needed it.
The Iron Jock beanie wears like a winter hat, but it's lighter and thinner and fits just right for walks or outdoor activities. The perfect fit to take the chill off your head.
Iron Jock hoodies 30% off with the code HOODIE30 now through October 19th.
Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Hey, it's Scott Dolphin, and I can't wait to be one of the many future happy customers at Charisma Customs. In just a few weeks, my wife JD's Bronco is heading in for the ultimate upgrade. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about Charisma, like Casey, who wrote that he had his car wrapped and tinted. He said excellent service, fairly priced, and they kept open communication. That is so important. I absolutely recommend them. Thank you, Casey. That's the kind of experience we're looking forward to. I'm going to keep you posted on the Bronco's amazing transformation. In the meantime, you can check them out in Delafield or check out charismacustoms.com. Tell them Scott sent you.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. And my first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Watching a few showers move through our area this morning. Once they're done, we should see partly to mostly cloudy conditions and highs in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, likely near 50 with 40s inland, and then chance of showers again tomorrow by late in the day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest fall looks, all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
I'm Ashley Dvorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with Connie Nielsen, who returns for the action comedy sequel Nobody 2 alongside Bob Odenkirk.
They always let me know from the beginning that they were going to, build this universe. I love what the script was like, and I love what Timo, our director, did with it. And Bob is just a natural, talented writer, and he really writes from his heart and from what he knows.
That's so interesting that you knew going in they were going to expand the universe. So is that a big part of the decision making too? Or you're like, okay, this is a big commitment, another one.
No,
so,
I was looking forward to it because, there's just a way he writes this family touches me. It's the way he reveals the ins and outs of this relationship with his wife. And there's such dignity in the way they both are admit to failure and support each other in being the person that they need to be in order to make this family happy.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Romeo Dobbs has the pylon. Touchdown, Green Bay. The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
And there is your dagger.
97.3 The Game.
I know on that second touchdown, I could have probably failed and got up and still scored. Probably one of the best block plays I've ever had in my career. So shout out to O-line.
The man that scored 2 tugs yesterday, Josh Jacobs, 93 yards on 18 carries for the Packers running back. He ended up with 150 all-purpose yards on 5 grabs, nearly 60 yards in the receiving game as well, hauled in all 5 of his targets. Armin Sarian's right there. I'm Billy Schmidt. It's the No BS Morning Show here inside the Iron Jack Studios, produced by Andrew Ludwig. 877-794-1973 was bumping last night on Packers OT, Armin.
Bumping.
And I appreciate and want to hear more conversation after the game yesterday because I was a little bit taken. I shouldn't be surprised when the expectation is dominance, right? And excellence. And that's the right way, I think, for Packers fans to be always viewing your favorite team. You have high expectations, and that's a good thing. It's Titletown for a reason. And you make moves like the Micah Parsons trade to put yourself in a position to be competing for champions.
And the way it started, you increased the standard right away. 2-0, looking great, dominant, all that stuff.
Then a game like yesterday happens. And I think, some of it can just be maybe not fully seeing how the other half lives and being away from the game or away from Packers football for a week, getting a bye week, getting a chance to watch the rest of the NFL, see that there's flawed teams all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know more than ever before, this year in particular, there's clearly not a dominant number one team in football. People thought it was the Philadelphia Eagles for a number of weeks.
Now they got a lot of problems.
They've lost 2 straight games and they have 2-hour closed door meetings. That's not a great thing.
What happened to the Niners yesterday?
Buffalo needed a life support victory in week 1, and they've dropped a game as well. The Detroit Lions, who we had a caller last night on Packers OT,
Walt,
who said, why can't we just be dominant? Why can't we just dominate? And I'm like, well, I appreciate it because that should be the goal.
The goal should be to do as best as you can all the time. Win all the time.
As Coach Boone said in Remember the Titans, perfection is what we will be striving for. Knowing that hopefully some point along the way, excellence might be achieved.
I wonder how many coaches have said that now since then. But yes, that was Vince's thing too. We're chasing perfection, all these things.
But there's no perfect team in pro football. And if there is one in week 6, that's a problem. You're not going to be able to maintain that level of play from week 6 to let alone week 16, week 18, 19, 20, which ends up being not crunch time into the postseason, the most important time of the year. And the Packers were good, not great for the entire 60 minutes yesterday. but I thought there were great stretches of the game for the entire first half outside of the last drive. There were 3 of the first 4 drives for the Bengals are 3 and outs.
Yeah.
Now, similar to how the game starts against Dallas, and you have to be able to maintain that for a longer stretch of time. They're going to get theirs on the other side at some particular point, but a 27-18 game yesterday, a win where you rip the page off the calendar and you put up 400 yards of offense. You rumble up and down the field for the majority of the time. You hit a couple of field goals with a backup kicker who was the training buddy for the long snapper and holder during the offseason. And that's how our boy Lucas gets the call yesterday to be booting at Lambeau Field against the Bengals. Like, I definitely understand wanting a little bit more. The Packers talked about wanting more. They want more. You should want the team to look even better. But to be as down in the dumps as it felt like Packers fans were with a 2-score victory yesterday, Armin, I was a little bit perplexed.
I was shocked a little bit at the reaction, although maybe nothing should shock me anymore. I know we've grown up on Madden. I know we've grown up on the idea that we can set information in paper. Games are won on paper. These are humans playing on the field. These are professional athletes. And this was a different Bengals team walking in, albeit with Joe Flacco, but still a different team than the one in the last recent week. So there's a thought of, yes, we should blow this team out. And I totally get it. Bengals have been bad. Packers are 14-point favorites, which they almost covered for big portion of the game, or somewhat covered if you had 14.5. But they're favorites. We should blow this team out, never have any problems. And I do get the frustration on the surface of, well, we couldn't put them away in the second half. But what surprised me the most was some of the criticism of the offense, which I really didn't understand, Billy. You're talking about a team, except for the tipped interception, right, early in the game. That was the one drive that really set the Packers from really establishing themselves with a big lead in this game. The Packers offense was great. I thought Jordan Love was incredibly efficient, had a huge second half, made big plays when they needed to, some great throws. And all I'm reading on the text line and here in post game on Packers OT was about Jordan Love. And I'm like, what are you people watching? He had a great game. We're talking about an offense, Billy, that didn't get the ball in the second half until 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a team that walked into halftime with a lead, watched their defense give up a 10-minute drive. They weren't on the field for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And they had to kind of, out of nowhere, turn sand into gold in terms of building their own momentum on a drive with not very much room for error if you wanted to keep a lead in that game, because the defense had started to struggle to stop the rhythm that Joe Flacco had gotten into.
Yeah.
And they were able to do it. So the Packers were looking at, with a couple minutes to go, 2 drives in the second half that both resulted in touchdowns. The running game was maybe the best it had been all year, except for maybe the Cowboys game. 153 yards rushing, 4.5 per rush. I thought Jordan Love was great. 19 for 26. The interception was the one thing you'd take back. It was the tip ball. Probably shouldn't have tried to throw it, but you're talking about a guy that got shot plays, got big plays down the field, was efficient in the short game. I don't know what people are really expecting sometimes from Jordan Love, and it seems like the standard is high, which it should be, like you said.
Yep.
But we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic about what we're looking at. And I was the defense, the criticism of the defense in the second half, I understood. Felt like we couldn't stop this Bengals team at all. And you're saying, really, even though they have talent, obviously on the outside, it's Flacco, but he changed the perception. He changed the direction of that team, obviously, because he could actually get the ball to Jamar Chase.
Yes.
T. Higgins.
Yeah. 10 times he gets the ball to Jamar Chase and force feeds the football to him, as I would too. I mean, the dude is absolutely disgusting. Like that catch that he makes against Nixon and McKinney into the corner is awesome.
So why is the best in the world?
One of the best catches that you'll see during the year, and also probably get away with some defensive holding in there. And you mentioned the 17-play drive to start the second half. Like, again, it's far from perfect. There's still ways for them to go, but like the calls for some kind of change, and this just can't happen. Again, it's week 6. I think it's better to win games early in the season, knowing that there's a lot more for you to get better at throughout the year, right? Like I see a lot of reason to say they're going to be a much better team in 3 weeks than they are even still right now. And, LB and Jackson said, is there something to be said for the Packers just allowing bad teams to look very competitive against them? Why can't we bury the teams like we're supposed to? I just struggle to say that game was competitive. I mean, again, it's a one-score game, but if you felt like that game was in question, I felt like we were watching a little bit of a different game, especially after every moment where Cincinnati does put points up on the board in the second half. You quickly respond with another drive that reestablishes control of the football.
That was my thing. So I in some sense, I thought the offense bailed the defense out yesterday because, was it in question? I think a little bit it was in terms of it was a one-score game. But you're right. Every time they came back, you came back with a touchdown drive like clockwork. And then I'm seeing this criticism of Jordan Love. I'm like, what is the goal that you want this offense to achieve? Because if it's a touchdown every possession, you're living in the wrong world, and you're not being realistic about what you're supposed to see in the field. And frankly, you never saw no one's ever putting up numbers like even Aaron Rodgers couldn't score
the greatest show on turf was doing that.
And I know it's just we had some really good calls on Packers OT, which I love.
We had some awesome interaction yesterday.
I got people saying, well, Jordan Love doesn't throw it from his foot and jump the right way. It's some bizarre stuff that I'm hearing, and I'm like, okay. If we don't win every game 45-0 like it's Madden, then people are going to be really upset about it.
The interesting one, Dan in 715 has a point that I saw a lot of times, and it's one that is very understandable because we see one stat with pass rushers. What happened to this defense we were supposed to have? Not impressed with Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones seems to have won this trade.
Oh boy.
He's heating up the quarterback.
Yeah.
There were a number of different times that Flacco was under pressure yesterday, but I do get we get one sack and it's Lucas Van Ness on a spot where he just simply beats the left tackle off the snap. I get wanting again. We should want more. You should want more. I would like to be able to get home with more of the designed blitzes that they also brought a little bit later into the game. They're close, very close against the guy that's not a 20-year seasoned vet and one of the better ones in the game of just getting the football out. I'm excited to see this defense against whatever Arizona throws out there, whether it's Kyler Murray, somewhat dinged as he missed yesterday's game, or skeletal remains of Jacoby Brissett. Excited to see how this team fares going up against an Arizona Cardinal team that is a little bit battered up. Marvin Harrison Jr. leaves the game yesterday as well. He hasn't been the game-breaking wide receiver that you have maybe anticipated coming out of college, but it's a good game, not a great game, but a 2-score victory. I'll take a lot of those throughout the year. 877-794-1973. Jacob and Tosa hits one on the head. I think my main concern is the cornerback play. Hitting the gritty after committing a PI for a good portion of the game might be comical. Other than that, good game. On to the next one. Yeah, Carrington Valentine, we gotta be judicious with when we bust out the gritty. Knowing that there is still fourth down and you still have to stop them, maybe not the time to get away with a potential PI call and then hit the gritty in front of Jamar Chase, who then next play makes one of the sickest grabs of the NFL season.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player.
We're close to the end. We don't need to keep poking the bear. And we're not going to do it after the game like Brian Branch. Been waiting on that one. We're not going to do that after the game like Brian Branch, but what we're going to do is just not do that when there's still fourth down and he can still go and score a touchdown on you. And he did. He was awesome yesterday.
I mean, you realize what this offense can look like with a competent quarterback. I'm talking to the Bengals.
Yeah.
That's what Flacco became a more competent quarterback at that position than they've had, obviously. And that's why when a guy like Flacco, I'm sorry, they have a competent quarterback in there, they can make it run because they have great talent. So you have to give Flacco some credit too. Our rush got very close a lot of times. That's what it's going to look like when they have a new quarterback. It was a different team, and I just thought Jordan Love played great last night.
Keyshawn Nixon kind of said it. They were running quick game. That ball was going to be out quickly. Also, the Packers' plan was to not have anything deep, which they stopped. And Keyshawn's like, you're going to get back shoulders at some point. Like that's part of the game. That's what we were trying to do. They just, on that fourth down, that back shoulder was really, we laughed. It was that insane,
dude. That was wild. It was a crazy catch. And you're right, Luddy. A pair of 19-yard gains. Those are the longest in the pass game. Eliminating the explosive plays. That's what the zone defense is going to do. It might not be what you always want to see, but it's a lot better than giving up a 75-yard touchdown.
They're going to get chunk plays, especially in the second half when you're even more trying to not give up the deep play. in that fourth quarter.
Because that was the only way they were going to get back into the football
100%.
game. 877-794-1973. Your reaction on the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line. Read some text on the other side. Voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrabee. You listen to him call the game right here on the game. He's here in 15 minutes on No BS.
There's a problem if your lawyer is famous for one phone call and a quick settlement. It weakens your position in a negotiation. Another problem is due diligence. That's what trial lawyers conduct when preparing a case. Things like lost wages, lifetime medical costs, and other variables that can't be considered in a quick settlement. In fact, one call and a quick settlement is exactly what the other side wants. Instead, call Habush, Habush & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit Habush.com to find out more.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the border in Lake County, Illinois. The Packers beat the Bengals. It was a good one at Lambeau Field. 27-18 the final. Jordan Love threw for 259 and a score. Josh Jacobs rushed for almost 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Packers get to 3-1-1 on the season. They'll visit the Cardinals next Sunday. Sunday night football. The Chiefs cap off the day with a 30-17 win over the Lions. Tonight you have 2 Monday night games with the Falcons visiting the Bills and the Commanders hosting the Bears. Right back at it for the Brewers. The NLCS Game 1 tonight at American Family Field against the Dodgers. First pitch, 7:08. Milwaukee hit 3 home runs in a 3-1 win over the Cubs to wrap up the division series on Saturday. Preseason basketball, the Bucks beat the Bulls 127-121 as Miles Turner and Kyle Kuzma both scored 19 points. I'm Scott Dolphin. I'm Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, The Game.
This October, eliminate chili drafts for good with Window Nation. Right now, when you buy 2 replacement windows, you'll get 2 for free. Plus, pay nothing for 2 whole years. Hurry. Sale ends October 31st. Schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. Many people gain the weight back after stopping, but there's a better way. Using the Milwaukee Weight Loss proprietary natural-based program, we've helped thousands of people not just lose weight, but keep it off long-term. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks while protecting your muscle mass. No side effects, no rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? You can do this. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. Joining Milwaukee Weight Loss was one of the best decisions I ever made. Not only can you lose weight fast and easily, but naturally and safely. And many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or 2. I lost double that. And the best part is I'm keeping it off till this day. Give them a call at 262-433-4008. That's 262-433-4008. Or go online to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today and schedule a free consultation. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Why wait? Schedule today. And when you sign up, make sure you tell them that you heard about it on the game and that Billy Schmidt sent you. Results may vary.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door? Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For all your garage door needs, don't think twice. Call Geis or visit their online showroom at geisstores.com.
Summer in Wisconsin. Tom, how's your summer going?
It's going great, but with summer comes big summer storms.
And insurance companies have been having trouble with all of the storms in the Midwest, right?
Yeah, wind and hail have been a nightmare for our industry, and then you have these storm-chasing roofers that make the problem even worse.
Are you seeing changes in the industry because of the increase in storm damage?
Absolutely. Many companies are now forcing higher wind and hail deductibles on homes and reducing the coverage available. But some of our companies, like Erie Insurance, still give the customer the choice of how they want to handle it. You know, it might cost more, but at least they let the customer decide, and that's a big advantage.
Well, with the guidance of you and your team at G2, I can tell you, I know they'll be well taken care of. So when you get that renewal offer from your company and they make changes without giving you an option, maybe it's time to call Tom and his team at G2 Insurance. G2 is here to help. Go to G2INS.com. That's G2INS.com. They are your friend in insurance.
Do you want to bank without the fuss? For easy banking, rely on us in person, online, or with the Tri-City app. Your banking can be done just like that. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
This October, eliminate chili drafts for good with Window Nation. Right now, when you buy 2 replacement windows, you'll get 2 for free. Plus, pay nothing for 2 whole years. Hurry. Sale ends October 31st. Schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I got a Chevy, she can flip a quarter. I'd drive her anywhere from here to California when this song is over. I gotta find her 'cause she had me at Carolina.
No BS on the game. Good morning. It is NLCS Game 1 Monday. It's a Victory Chicken Monday. No better place, no place I'd rather be than right here, right now on this radio show with my main man, Armin Sari.
All right, Marv. Thank you very much, Marv. I love that saying, man. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
It's so good, though, because there's a lot of ways that you can always frame and reframe your position in life. Your lot in life, so to speak. For our favorite teams right now, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
hey.
Like we can look at it through a different prism and a frustrated one of saying, we got to go up against the maybe greatest team of the 21st century in the LA Dodgers. National media only wants Giannis to leave. Like the only thing they can talk about our basketball team is not the fact that Miles Turner said, this guy's going to change my life.
They're drawing up plays together.
Yes, he has last night. He goes, he's going to change my life. They're going to be good.
He already got paid and he's going to change his life.
Instead, he's going to go play for the Knicks. Going to go play for the Nets. I don't know, maybe play for an expansion team in Saudi Arabia. And then, football-wise, it's why can't we be the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Why can't we be one of these teams
Why not
that
us?
is 15-2 and then loses in the first round of the playoffs? Why can't we be somebody else? It's a recalibration of where we're at. Armin, it's a pretty dang good time to be a Wisconsin sports fan right now.
It is, and there's a situation sometimes when you feel like, well, we're just resigned to the fate that everyone else has decided for us. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be that way. Just because we think Giannis is going to leave, it doesn't have to be that way. Just because we think that that the Brewers always blow it and they'll never do it, doesn't have to be that way. Just because we think the Packers are not playing up to their standard. Sometimes it's nice when your team will do it for you and build that confidence. Say, you know what, it could be different. It doesn't have to be the fate that you think others resigned for you a little bit. And then I'm looking forward to all of our teams proving that. I'm looking forward to the Bucks having a good year and Giannis coming together with a young core and maybe reigniting his own passion in this market.
100%.
You got to look at it that way. I'm looking for the Brewers to do something special here. You got to win 4 games. Maybe it'll happen. I don't want to. And you know what, Billy? When you start thinking about the NLCS that starts tonight, I don't want to make this sound like loser talk and say, well, there's no shame in losing to the Dodgers. But the reality is there is no one in the world that can deny that when you match up against the Dodgers in a postseason series, you're going to be behind the 8 ball in terms of resources, talent, all these things. But there's no reason to think that you can't come out there and find a way to win 4 games out of 7. And that's
got to win 4.
And that's the hope you're going to have. And you want to be able to have a shot at this thing. And the Brewers earned themselves a shot by winning one of the most important games in franchise history Saturday night. They earned themselves that chance, and they got it done that night to give themselves this chance.
And just think, it could be a lot worse. I almost just accidentally called the police on my phone.
See, now that would have been tough.
Officer, I swear I didn't mean to.
I was trying to figure out why my phone was buzzing. It was because I was set to accidentally call the emergency number.
The emergency number you got in your phone, yeah. When I was a kid,
that would have been tough.
That would have been tough, but that would have been made for an interesting morning. Well, I'm not gonna lie, we're on until 10.
Hey, officer, why don't you finish the segment with us?
Yeah. Well, listen, that would be like the second worst person that could come and knock on our door right now.
Yeah. No, I
just think about it. It's one of those moments, right? There could be a lot worse. 877-794-1973. He's Armin Sarian. I'm Billy Schmidt. Andrew Ludwig's on the other side. 8 o'clock hour is going to be awesome. We got Wayne Larrabee leading us off. Vinny Rottino at 8:30. It's No BS on the game.
She's some kind of wonderful. Yes, she is. She's some kind of wonderful.
From the Lynch Truck Center in Waterford, Total Traffic Center. Southbound 4145 on the brakes pretty solidly, approaching Good Hope. Eastbound 94 slows from the Zoo Interchange into Stadium Interchange. Westbound 94, watch for crews working an accident on the exit ramp off to 25th Street. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ARR Recycling in Waukesha and West Dallas.
Recycling pays. Go to ARR Recycles with your recyclable copper, brass, lead, steel, or aluminum and get cash. Visit them at ARR1938.com or stop into their West Dallas or Waukesha location. ARR Recycles since 1938.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Froedtert.com to find out how.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved! Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary, just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip.
Woo! That's so screaming good!
Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian, toppings piled high, screaming loud, always delicious.
People can't stop screaming about Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. And no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's frozen aisle and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screaming is about.
Badass Concrete. Yes, you heard me right. Badass Concrete. Hello, I'm Al McFadden, proud owner of Southeast Wisconsin's most diverse and creative decorative concrete business. We specialize in indoor metallic floors, polished and dyed concrete, concrete ceiling, stamped and regular concrete, as well as retaining walls. Were you or someone you know affected by the recent floods? Or would you like to upgrade your indoor surface to a low maintenance and highly durable surface? Well, Badass Concrete is here to help. If your concrete project is indoor or outdoor, you now know a guy in this business. With over 26 years of contracting experience and an unparalleled portfolio, you know you're in good hands. So if you have a residential or commercial concrete project, remember, Badass Concrete has you covered. Check us out today at badassconcrete.com.
This October, eliminate chili drafts for good with Window Nation. Right now, when you buy 2 replacement windows, you'll get 2 for free. Plus, pay nothing for 2 whole years. Hurry. Sale ends October 31st. Schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Simplify keeps you safe, warm, and dry. For a free estimate, go to simplifyroofing.com.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
The Milwaukee Admirals 2025-26 season begins on Saturday when the Admirals travel to Rockford to take on the Ice Hawks. Hits the Rockford line, delays. Afanasyev in the slot. He shoots and scores! Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30. Face-off is at 7 on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios. Built by Reamer Remodel.
We're ready to roll, baby!
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee 97.3 The Game.
And now Jacobs in motion behind Love. And the handoff. Jacobs up the middle, throwing his way to the end zone. He's in for the touchdown.
That's the way to do it.
Start of the fourth quarter, Packers leading 10-7. Love with a second down. Second down and 7 from the 14. Handoff. Jacobs up the middle, blasting to the end zone for a touchdown. Here's a fake handoff. Love bootlegging right, dumps it off Kraft to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. And it is a touchdown. Here it is, placement made. Kick end over end to the upright, and it is no good.
Yes.
No good. He missed it to the right side. 41 seconds to go, and the Packers have applied the dagger.
Apply the dagger indeed. Packers with a workmanlike 27-18 dub over the Cincinnati Bengals. First win in a month. One home game in a month and a half at Lambeau Field. You had to make sure that you put on for the home crowd. Packers are now 3-0 at Lambeau Field. And don't look now, boys and girls. I know it's only week 6. 2 seed in the NFC and in first place in the NFC North after last night's results. Voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee, is here. Our conversation with Wayne Larrivee brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. Discount liquor, family owned and operated in Milwaukee and downtown Waukesha since 1960. And Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, built in Wisconsin, built to last. Wayne, last night on the post game, it wasn't all good reaction. I didn't anticipate it would be all good reaction. It was maybe a little more negative than I did anticipate with the Packers. I never felt like the game was ever in serious doubt. They controlled the game. They ran the ball better than they have all year long. To be a finished product in week 6, I think would be a problem. Felt like the Packers made some strides yesterday, albeit with a lot of room still to grow.
Yeah, we all felt kind of the same way you did. I didn't feel like the game was in doubt, but then I didn't feel like Cleveland was in doubt either. So that's the kind of feeling we had in our booth, Larry and myself, looking at that game as we got into the fourth quarter. So, hey, these guys are still hanging around here, and anything can happen, especially in a one-score game. So, but beyond that, I thought the Packers, it was a nice bounce back win. Was it the 30-point win or 20-point win or cover the spread win that everyone was hoping for with 4 or 5 sacks and all that stuff? No, it wasn't. But it certainly was a win. And anytime you get a win against an opponent in the National Football League, that's nothing to be upset about.
Especially since it had been a full month for the Packers before they got a win. So it's sort of this weird stretch the Packers have been in, but still only lost once, 3-1-1. What impressed me most about Jordan Love and the offense, Wayne, as you were calling it in the second half, is they were kind of put with their backs against the wall in the second half with that long Bengals drive to start the third quarter. I don't remember a drive that long on one possession from one team in a long time. And you're talking about an offense that had been hadn't been on the field for almost an hour, that all of a sudden had been faced with only a 3-point lead, having to kind of turn sand into gold, build their own momentum back, and then go get a touchdown to retake the 10-point lead.
Yeah, and they've done that more often than not this year, Armin, offensively. They've answered the call when another team gets a touchdown. They come back and get one of their own. I think the offense was fine yesterday. I think it was very good, matter of fact. They ran the football effectively against this front. And Cincinnati has some people up front on that defensive line. TJ Slayton, whom we know very well, Mike Pennell, whom we know very well. They can stop the run. Chris Jenkins Jr. is a good young player. By the way, I was with his uncle Cullen the night before the game at an appearance, and his father, of course, is the great Chris Jenkins, the All-Pro Hall of Famer from the Carolina Panthers. So they have some people, and this Cincinnati team, by the way, with Joe Burrow, is considered a playoff caliber team. They haven't had Joe Burrow since early in the second game of the season. You saw with that drive you're talking about, Armin, everything, all the reasons why they went after and got Joe Burrow. They got a guy who made, his numbers weren't good in Cleveland, but Cleveland wasn't very good. But they felt they got a guy who could take care of the football, get the ball to their big play receivers, which he did. And, I mean, he hit Chase and Higgins 15 times in that game. And, so no turnovers. That's why they got him, and that's why they hung in the game.
Yeah, Wayne, they desperately needed Flacco to reinstitute a little bit of life into the team because they looked very lifeless. And I thought that there's different times that you face teams in the league, and this was a team that was fighting for their lives, right? They're 2-3 going in there. They just got somebody who's played a ton of football and a breath of fresh air away from, wow, we have no chance to do anything, to, okay, we can go and put something competent together offensively. I thought you saw a little bit of that later on. The pass rush in the lack of the big sack. You mentioned it of, covering the number and getting like 4 or 5 sacks. People expect a certain number of sacks to be the production from Micah Parsons. What would you say to the criticism of what his production has already been so far as a member of the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I mean, statistically, and I haven't looked at the tape again, but, they did a pretty good job of neutralizing him, it looked like to me. And I don't believe he had any pressures in that game. And, here's a guy who came in leading the league is 7 pressures a game himself. So they did a pretty good job on him, it seems like. And that allowed Flacco a little more time, throw the football, look downfield, and get it to his receivers. When you look at the numbers, boy, I was just amazed. Cincinnati, to me, with those long drives in the second half, and you look at it, they still only had 268 yards of offense.
Yeah.
They didn't run the football a lick for the most part, right? 55 yards. Didn't even try to run, 16 carries, 213 net yards passing. Those aren't bad numbers. You know what I mean? Defensively. The concern is the fact that they haven't sacked the quarterback a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, and turnovers, takeaways. That's a huge part of defense today. Defense today, boys and girls, isn't what it was in 1985 or even 2000. Defense today is not about yardage. It's about taking the ball away. It's about playing well on third down. It's about forcing field goals in the red zone. That's defense today. That's what it's all about. Sacking the quarterback's a big part of that. Taking the ball away is a huge factor for defenses, good defenses in the league today. Packers have 2 takeaways, and according to the stats I'm looking at, guys, and I've never seen this ever with a team I've covered, high school, college, NFL. I've never seen a team go 5 straight games to start a season without a fumble recovery, much less without forcing a fumble. That's that's an amazing stat to me. And there was a tremendous emphasis at training camp on forcing fumbles. And last year, they were 3rd in fumble recoveries in the league and 3rd in forced fumbles. So I don't get it, except this. I know turnovers happen in bunches in this league. And I don't care how well you prepare or whatever. The Packers prepare well. They really do defensively. But sometimes turnovers are just cyclical and they happen in bunches.
You read my mind, Wayne. I was just about to say, we're getting into what's got to be a historic number of games to start a season without recovering a fumble, let alone forcing one. I think there has to be an NFL record that they're approaching with that, because I just haven't seen it for you to not be able to do so. And to the point, it was harped on every day while we were at Ray Nitschke Field, and they had multiple drills for it. I can't necessarily explain it either. Although in the first 3 to 4 series, right, the Packers forced 3 and outs on the first 4 drives, and you saw the real swarming to the football that made it suffocating at times, especially in the first 2 home games. it does seem like that can get away from you, Wayne, when it's a very quick, short passing game. And that part of the Packers defense can be almost neutralized by the opponent, if that makes sense, where they're not allowing them to generate the momentum and the punching opportunities without them swarming the ball, just getting the ball out as quickly as possible.
Well, Bill, midway through that game yesterday, I said to Larry off the air, I think I just said it to him, this looks like Dallas. This looks like exactly what Dallas was doing. Quick, get rid of the football, work the sidelines, spread the defense with the passing game, and not allow the pass rush to precipitate and not allow some of these things we were talking about with the fumbles and that type of thing to happen. Like I said, they only ran the ball 16 times in this game. Flacco was, I thought, very solid, very good. He's got better people to throw to than he had in Cleveland. But he's got the two best receivers on a single team in the league. There's no doubt about that. And I'll tell you what, that battle between Keyshawn Nixon and Jamar Chase was worth the price of admission. It was a great one.
Yeah, and it seems like this might be the, I don't want to say the book, but it might be the adjustment the teams are making on the Packers, because they have had it started the year with a great pass rush, is to go to this quick passing game, try to, get the ball out right away and pick out a matchup that works for them. And then it's going to be on the Packers now to adjust, Wayne.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. We've seen it a couple of weeks in a row now. That's what we're going to get. You're not going to get quarterbacks dancing back there, 5-step drops and holding the ball and pounding the ball, because they know the pass rush will get there. But I think you're going to see this adjustment, this quick passing game. And again, somewhat of a lateral passing game. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. It's a quick hitter, but it's kind of outside the hash marks toward the numbers, the passing game. And that's where they're trying to spread that defense. And the Packers have a lot of speed, especially on the second level of that defense. But nonetheless, the more you spread it, the harder it is to cover it.
Talk about speed, Wayne Larrivee. Matthew Golden's got a lot of it. And it just seems like each and every week, he's going to draw attention. He with that kind of athleticism and ability, he's going to take eyes and be an attention grabber. But yesterday, 86 yards, most he's had, a couple of really, really big plays. That one on third down across the middle that gives the Packers the chance to make it a 2-score lead. Jordan's looking for him in a gotta have it moment. That's impressive for somebody in week 6 of his rookie year.
Well, no question about it, Billy. But, the thing about him is his hands. I mean, this kid has a great set of hands, and, he'll make the tough catch out. He's as tough as nuts. I'm tell you what, that guy, the hit he took in Dallas on that punt return, I'm still wondering how he got up off of that. But nonetheless, he's a tough kid. He's an excellent route runner, much better than advertised coming out of college. All we heard about was 2.9 something speed or whatever it was, or 3.9, whatever that was. But this kid runs great routes. He has great hands, and it's only a matter of time before he gets into the end zone. And you're right, he's on the scouting report. And wait till they get Christian Watson back.
Yeah, I was just going to say the emergence of him, with the prospect of Watson coming back as a deep threat. We talk about this league and how the depth of throw is not what it used to be, but the Packers seem to be that one team that continues to like to take deep shots and try and puncture defenses deep and try and expose them deep. And I would imagine they're going to keep doing that and when Watson comes back as well, Wayne.
Oh, I think so, no doubt. And Love loves to throw the deep ball, so to speak. And but the Packers will start it with the running game. That's how they work the football. And the run, 33 rushing attempts yesterday. They averaged over 30 rushing attempts a game, which was, I believe, top 5 or 6 in the league coming in. That's a number I watch pretty closely. Is a team running the football, and the Packers are one of those teams that invest in the run. Matt LaFleur said on the pregame show yesterday, he said, we continue to invest in the run, knowing that it'll pay off down the stretch, and it usually does in the second half of their games.
Wayne, listening to you and Larry yesterday, there was one moment in time where Jordan Morgan had a little bit of an issue, and Rock said it. He goes, Jordan Morgan's back in there playing right guard, and that time didn't do very well. However, having them with 6 guys in there, a little bit of a rotation, that's the 6 guys that you anticipate you're going to be able to have. When Matt LaFleur talks about wanting your best 5 there, felt like it got better later into the game. And they're pretty dedicated to that rotation, it appears. It's going to be Jordan Morgan and Sean Ryan splitting time. If everyone's healthy, they're at right guard, and they're not afraid of a rotation.
Yeah, and I thought really it was big getting Banks and Zach Tom back in the lineup. Was everything perfect? No, but at least they were back on the field. I thought it was the most productive running game. I don't know if they had bigger numbers in a previous game. They had 153 yards. They averaged 4.6 yards a carry. That's almost 5 yards a pop. That's a good running game. Joshua's over 5 yards a pop in the running game, and I think that's really important to get that continuity back on the offensive line. Jordan Love, I thought, for the most part, had time to throw. He was sacked once in the game. There were times when he had a lot of time to throw. That getting that offensive line, Billy, back, you know how important it is. Just getting those guys back at practice every day, and then for the game, that makes such a difference. And hopefully that'll be something that's going to be a positive moving forward.
Yeah, not only the running, but the big catches out of the backfield. Josh Jacobs was so impressive, especially after learning after the game he was sick all game and throwing up. And
we didn't know he was sick. I guess he showed up. He had felt bad and threw up a couple of times even during the game, but nonetheless persevered through. Those great athletes do that. You know what I mean? It seems like the great athletes, when they're sick and down, and everybody says, "Okay, you can take the foot off the gas pedal because this guy isn't going to make it today. He's not going to be as effective." That's when they're at their best. When the odds are against them.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to call this the flu game, something you're very familiar with, Wayne, but hey, you know what? Why not? And Jacobs has shown that type of toughness and leadership ability more and more, I think, as he's been a Packer. He's really embraced that role of being the tough as nails kind of team leader on that offense.
He and Xavier McKinney were incredible additions to this football team last year, not just for what they did on the field, but every bit as important what they brought to the locker room. They are two great people, two great leaders. And I'm not just saying that for Packers fans. I'm saying that because it's the damn truth. They are excellent players, but they are great leaders. And Jacobs proved that again yesterday. What a great addition he's been.
And he's just the personality, it feels like, of the football team. When they want, if that's the identity that you're going to have, that's going to be a good one and one that's going to be successful going forward. Wayne, you've gotten to see some of the best athletes around. Getting to watch Jamar Chase in person yesterday, I don't know that he does that every week. The numbers would indicate he does a lot of it. That catch in the far side and that touchdown grab, one of the better ones you're going to see all year long. He was impressive to see in person.
He really was, Billy. I mean, hey, he and T. Higgins, I believe I had a number. They count $69 million on the salary cap, the two of them. That's a ton of money in wide receivers. So they had to get somebody better than Jake Browning throwing them the football. At least Joe Flacco's won a Super Bowl. So, we should not be surprised that they would be productive. They were both very impressive at times. Boy, I tell you what, that matchup, like I said, Keyshawn Nixon on that touchdown pass Chase had late in the game, the coverage was right there. What an incredible adjustment, though, that Chase made to the ball and cut in front of the coverage. Just one of those, and a great throw by Flacco. I tell you what, studying Flacco going into the Cleveland game a month ago, I said to Larry, I said, this guy can still fling it. There's no question about that. He may not be able to move a whole lot, but he can still fling the football if given time. The Browns just couldn't give him any time. And I thought the Bengals did a good job of pass protection, and you saw what he could do. But what a great throw and a tremendous catch on that play.
One of the best and worst things for Joe Flacco was the question of, is Joe Flacco elite? He's a damn good quarterback and had been for a long time. However, he was on the couch for a little while. People thought he was done because he couldn't play. He got replaced by Lamar Jackson. Wayne, if that's who you're going to lose your job to, there could probably be worse guys in the NFL to do so.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, the pedigree's pretty good on that one, isn't it?
Wayne, always appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to chop it up with you after the game. Phenomenal call yesterday, and thank you for the lead in on Packers OT. That was the only reason why everyone stayed, was because you were walking us right in, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you. Have a good week. We'll talk Friday.
We'll talk to you Friday. There's Wayne Larrivee hanging out with us here on No BS. Our conversation with Wayne brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook, bet above the rest, discount liquor, family owned and operated in Milwaukee and downtown Waukesha since 1960. And Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, built in Wisconsin, built to last.
Yeah, I didn't ask him if he had a scouting report in the Dodgers. I don't know if that would hit too close to home for him, because didn't work in the last year in World Series last year.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been a big fan.
No, so that's why I avoided the question.
Well, they didn't have Devin Williams on their roster.
No, that's fair.
The Yankees, that is. So,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But maybe we can get it for him.
No, instead they had Nestor Cortez to be able to blow it.
Yeah, that was tough.
A lot of great responses still in the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line, including one from Drunk Paul. Hey, I hit your parlay on Friday, Billy. I was doubting your Chiefs pick, but I went with it. Good call. Thanks.
Let's go.
We're going to hit a parlay of the day coming up in a few minutes from right now. 877-794-1973. Todd from the 920. And I want to get this in before we're going to talk to Vinny Rottino coming up in about 12 minutes from right now. Todd said, Billy, you asked if this series against the Cubs was worth it. It absolutely was. But I have to admit, and I can make a comment in hindsight because I was one of the only few people that was running from my nightmares and wanted nothing to do with the Cubs before this started. We were at the game Saturday. I had no voice left by the third inning. The people in our section stood the whole game. Armin would be so proud.
I'm always
proud. It was awesome to see Cubs fans heading for the exits as each started to happen in the top of the ninth inning. Nothing better than sending them home with a big L ranking. Big games that I've been at. Number 1, Game 5 of the 2011 NLDS.
I was there. It was fun.
Number 2, Game 162 of 2008 to make the playoffs. And Game 5, the 2025 NLDS. Let's keep this magical ride rolling. The 2025 journey has been incredible.
You know,
let's go, Todd.
I love that, Todd, and I know I love to gatekeep, but I'm not one to get on people for not standing or sitting. Everyone's got different issues. That's never been one for me.
Just want you to be loud and proud.
It's more about being loud and proud and being focused on the right things for your team. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that though, because it did seem better to me than I heard some voices out there saying. So
those voices.
I don't know. I'm glad to hear that. Great stuff. Great stuff.
What a moment. What a promo. Let's keep this magic carpet ride going. We'll talk more about it coming up with Vinny Rottino in 10 minutes. That's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. It's No BS on the Game.
From the Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend Total Traffic Center.
Northbound 4145 got a crash on the right shoulder near Burleigh. That's going to back things up into Watertown Plank. Northbound bypass still have a crash sitting on the right lane near Oklahoma. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes 26 to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the race. IHRA and Durana Hybrid are bringing back the thrill of racing and the pride of skilled trades. Through mentorship and education, we're fueling the future. On the track and in the trades. Get your tickets at IHRA.com.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved! Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary, just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip.
Woo! That's so screaming good!
Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian, toppings piled high, screaming loud, always delicious.
Hey, it's Scott Dolphin, and I cannot wait to be one of the many happy customers at Charisma Customs. In just a few weeks, my wife JD's Bronco is heading in for the ultimate upgrade. She had a lot of ideas, and they kept saying, yep, we can do that. And there's great reviews of Charisma, like Shelly, who had both of her cars protected with ceramic. She said, if you want to spoil your car, this is the place. My husband and I both had the ceramic coating on both of our cars, and we absolutely love it. That's the kind of experience we're looking forward to. I will keep you posted on the Broncos transformation. In the meantime, check out their work for yourself at Charisma Customs in Delafield or at charismacustoms.com.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. But wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Watching a few showers move through our area this morning. Once they're done, we should see partly to mostly cloudy conditions and highs in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, likely near 50 with 40s inland, and then chance of showers again tomorrow by late in the day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling. 0 payments, 0 interest for 18 months. First Choice Heating makes new HVAC affordable. No credit hassles, no minimums on select equipment. Call First Choice now. Your comfort can't wait. First Choice Heating and Cooling.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
It's Fox Wheels.
Volkswagen is accused of trying to pull a fast one to get EV owners to pay more in a monthly or yearly subscription or a lifetime fee for extra horsepower on its ID3 small EV in Europe. This after previous attempts to squeeze auto customers through subscriptions have caused major criticism, like when BMW attempted and then abandoned its subscription fee for seat heating, Apple CarPlay, and other features. Mercedes-Benz offers the option to subscribe to extra horsepower. GM offers subscriptions for features like its Super Cruise hands-free driving. Toyota requires a monthly or annual fee for its Remote Connect service. And Ford requires a subscription fee to unlock its Blue Cruise hand-free driving system. All as automakers look to create new revenue streams while trying to balance owner and brand trust. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Love waits for the snap, and here it is. Rashawn has time, throws left side of the end zone. Catch me! Romeo Doubs at the pylon. Touchdown, Green Bay. And he throws the football into the stands to Richardson. Winds up deep down the right side into a gaggle of bodies. Is broken up and intercepted by the Packers.
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
And there is your dagger.
97.3 The Game.
And he pulls this one deep to left center, way back, and gone! And Vaughn with a try, left field, pretty deep. This ball is gone! And Terang drives one, center field, way back there, gone! Comes down to their final out. Carson Kelly, grounded to short. Ortiz makes the play! Ball game over. The Brewers will play for the pennant.
Audio courtesy at TBS. Brewers playing for the National League pennant starting up tonight in the championship series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The reigning defending World Series champions come to town. 2 of the 4 teams remaining have never won a World Series. Last night, the Mariners got 1 game closer to their first title as they're now 7 away. They go up 1-0 in the best of 7 American League Championship Series. Armin Sarian, Cal Raleigh hits a game-tying moonshot home run. They give up a solo blast on the first pitch delivered of the ALCS, and then they give up 1 hit the rest of the way out. That's a hell of a way to win game 1 on the road.
Especially at Toronto with that lineup, pretty wild. And it's one of those things where, you know, the players talked about in 82 a little bit. The euphoria of the last series, you don't want to come out too flat. They kind of did in California. Not saying Toronto did, but
sure.
I think the Brewers have to fight against that a little bit maybe tonight, kind of the hangover of the excitement of winning on Saturday night. But on the flip side, you also could tell yourself, hey, we'll be ready to go. We're ready to go, feeling good. Maybe the pressure's off a little bit for this team. Could put up a crooked number. That'd be nice to see too. So
I love some of the text that we're getting in here because it is all hype, all gas, no bleep and break. 920 said only the 3rd playoff series win in most younger fans' lifetime. I'm hyped for the NLCS. Bring on the biggest market versus the smallest market. Let's go. I love this one from the 262. My brother and I were sitting in left field. When the final out was made, it didn't hit my brain that we were moving on to the NLCS until I looked up and saw the confetti and streamers falling off the roof.
All right, now, if I'm going to have one complaint, this is going to sound bad. All right, no, just hear me out. Hear me out. This is not like a real complaint.
I'll listen to him, I guess.
No, it's just like the confetti was awesome and all that stuff. One complaint, I need a better celebration on the field in that moment. I need dog piles back. I need dudes jumping on each other. I need a real pile. We don't have dudes jumping on each other anymore in these celebration moments. What happened to the old dog piles, man?
Did you not watch Edwin Diaz in the World Baseball Classic?
Okay, that one.
Did you watch Brock Wilken, I believe, celebrating the Biloxi Shuckers first half win in Double-A ball this year?
No, I want it to feel so good that you can't even worry about being injured in that moment. I want that. I get it. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. Don't do backflips and things that might injure yourself, but
just jump on your teammates with cleats on and have a date.
They were hugging each other and jumping. Dude,
isn't that good?
At least Durbin was straddling Vaughn at one point. That was kind of part of the excitement, part of the experience. We need the big dog pile. I don't
This is getting weirdly erotic.
It is weird, and I don't know how to say this without it sounding weird, but I don't know why this is something I watch.
It sounds like your frustration was the celebration wasn't sexual enough for you.
It's not a sexual thing. It's obviously not. Okay.
Well, the best part of it was you talking about one of the guys straddling the other guy, and you wanted to jumping on dudes. Maybe, I don't know what we're seeing.
Well, maybe I shouldn't use the word straddling, but he's jumping.
They did say baseball is an intimate sport.
Very intimate.
I want
it's a weird critique by you. Sorry, I didn't see this.
It's weird.
Coming.
We used to have these wild dog piles. What happened to the dog piles? They're not there anymore. We just jumping around like we won a game in July. I mean, it's excited. No, I want you to be so excited. I mean, Ted Simmons. You look back at 81. Hold on, just hear me out for a second. All right, before I know Vinny's going to be on in a second. Hear me out, because maybe Vinny will back me up on this.
But this is Vinny. This is the first question for Vinny Rottino when he joins us in a second.
You go back to 81 when the strike shortened season. Brewers finally clinch the second half to force to get to the playoff series. I mean, there was Ted Simmons jumping into Raleigh's arms like he's a border collie at the end of one of those, like dog things with the tricks when he's just jumping into his owner's arms. It's just the type of unbridled, organic euphoria. That's what I want to see. I know they have it. I just think the culture of baseball, the way they celebrate now, we don't see the big dog piles anymore. Maybe it's injury concerns, Billy. Maybe it's everyone's just trying to be cool. I don't know. But I just remember
Eric in a dump truck. I'm wanting them to bring back the post-game shaving cream pie to the face.
Yeah, I mean that we've done that. We've seen Gatorade baths and pie to the face and stuff like that. Am I the only one, really?
I think you're the only one.
I can't be. I cannot be the only one that thinks the celebrations on the field and baseball celebrations are a little more muted than they used to be. We're talking about monster piles of humanity. Dude, stacked on top of it. I mean, that was the best part.
Yeah, and Austin said it. Austin in Spring Grove, you dogpile when you win it all. Armin, you'd lose your mind if somebody got injured in that.
So maybe that's the injury thing. I don't want to sit there worrying.
We can't lose a left-handed pitcher in a celebration.
Yeah, let's get
We'll
the
get
major.
Vinny.
Let's
We'll
get the
get
major leaguers' take on this. Vinny Rottino joins us now on No BS. Vinny, appreciate the time. You're phenomenal on television. You're one of the best analysts in the game, and we're going to start with maybe the dumbest question you've ever been asked in an interview. Are dog piles not a thing anymore? Armin's frustrated that the celebration wasn't more aggressive, it feels like, for the Brewers on Saturday night. You were there. Did you think it needed to be more euphoric in the moment?
Well, okay. Talk about the euphoria of the moment. You can hear my voice is hoarse. I mean, this is 2 days after. I was absolutely going berserk.
I love that.
And the entire game. So that's number one. Number two, don't forget, 2 years ago, was it 2 or 3 years ago now, during the celebration for Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic, Edwin Diaz blows out his knee, blows out his ACL, and was out for the entire year. So I actually do think that teams are a little bit conscious, they're cognizant about not getting injured in a dog pile.
Okay.
That's just, so that's definitely a thing. But no, I mean, what unbelievable game, and the euphoria of the moment was captured by everyone in the stadium. And then the team, I thought it was appropriate, and then they fly the L flag.
That was great.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
What do you think about that? And listen, I'm not questioning how happy people felt and the euphoric nature, but I know we were all excited and their team was happy too. I'm not judging that. It's just, I just remember those big dog piles from my youth, Vinny, and you're kind of like closer to my age, so I know you get it. But the L flag, yes. Now, I thought that was kind of a fun troll. Listen, it's to the victor go the spoils. That's your flag that you raise when you lose, Cubs fans or Cubs organization. And just for fun, I think we raised the flag in the symbolic victory, right? I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but there's a lot of Cubs fans saying, "Oh, it wasn't classy sportsmanship." Is that a little overblown? Was it just in good fun?
fun. And I actually like, look, I trolled a couple of fans in the parking lot and I posted it on my Twitter.
Yes.
Look, I think it's in good fun in this day and age. Now, don't get obviously violent. Don't get too personal. Like, have it, be a fun thing. And I thought flying the L flag, I thought that was fun. And yeah, they're going to take it a little bit personally, but at the same time, especially baseball, I think baseball especially needs a little bit of controversy. They need a little bit of drama, and that provides it just enough, just a little touch of it, because yeah, I mean, it gets us riled up. It gets them riled up, and that's not a bad thing. So it keeps the rivalry going, and I like it.
I could not co-sign that anymore, Vinny Rottino. Like, pettiness in sports is one of my absolute favorite things. The get back is always the best part. And then when you fly the L flag, and I thought the Brewers social media account dropping the L flag on the bean, that's going to be my screensaver for a while. Sorry to my two sons, but that's going to be my screensaver for a little while because it's just so good. You want more of that. The rivalries in sports are what make people love it so much. And when you get an opportunity to have that game in the playoffs, you saw William Contreras with the phone celebration and Abner Uribe with that as well. It does appear that the two teams, while there's definite respect on both sides, there's not a whole lot of love lost. And as a lifelong Brewers fan, Vinny, I absolutely love my favorite team feeling kind of the same thing for that other uniform as we do in the stands. It's a cool deal to feel.
100%. And that's why this victory, I think, was just so important to this franchise, to the city, to the state, because look, what was at stake? I think you actually lose some fandom for the Milwaukee Brewers if they lose to the Cubs in Game 5 and they haven't advanced to a playoff series since 2018. I actually think you're going to get fans that are so heartbroken, so upset 2 years in a row after they got their heartbroken last year. Uke's watching this team. He's watching over this team. And if you do lose to the Cubs, there is so much at stake. And the fact that they did it against the Cubs, against your arch nemesis, your rivals. I actually think that the Cardinals are a little bit, more hated by the Brewer fans, but the rivalry between the Brewers Cubs, because they come in here and they think that they own, Wrigley North, which I actually think is a fun troll for them.
That's part of it.
So yeah, it's part of it. And so then we sent them home, we sent them packing, we sent them crying back home down 994. It was just so awesome. And then they end up winning that game in the way that they did. It was a Brewers type of a victory where they played such a clean game. Their bullpen was unbelievable. The pitching was awesome, and you go ahead and you move on. It was such an important victory. It just was, and it could propel them all the way to the World Series. I've been saying I wanted to go through the Cubs the whole time, and I told a couple people, not in the media, not on radio or anything like that, that I actually secretly wanted it to go 5 games just because of how big that would be, the magnitude of Game 5. And then they go ahead and take it. Just awesome, guys. I'm so excited for the CS and hopefully the World Series.
It does not get better than that. It was, Vinny, you just hit on a point of contention on this radio program for the last 4 months, because I openly rooted for Brewers Cubs. Armin openly ran away from the thought of Brewers Cubs. So it was a great topic for us to go back and forth with, and for it to culminate in the Saturday night moment. It's as good as it possibly could get. Then some of the pitching performances and guys that are going to be a part of this rivalry going forward. I mean, Abner Uribe has been in the majors for a couple of seasons, but contractually, he's still kind of in his rookie status in his first year. He's got 6 years of club control. Chad Patrick, rookie. Jacob Mizorowski, 7 innings of work in the 2 games and 4 lockup innings in a decisive game. These are guys that are going to be a part of this going forward, and that as well felt like a rival for a couple more waves of Brewers that aren't going anywhere to the Chicago Cubs. I thought that was even more of a subtle message that we're here and we're here to stay.
And think about the fact that these guys, those young pitchers that you just talked about that and how long that they're going to be with the team going forward, what they just experienced. You cannot replace that for their development. This team, yes, they're going to have this Cubs-Brewers rivalry going forward. I think the Cubs are they're catching up just in terms of some of the things that they were behind on, quite frankly, in terms of, pitching development, data analytics. I do think Craig Counsell actually brought that to their organization here the last couple of seasons. So now you're going to have, these young Brewers, talented arms and position players that have experienced that series, and then hopefully, obviously bigger moments here going forward. That is going to do wonders for them. They're not going to be daunted, talk about being undaunted. They're not going to be daunted by some of the things that, that are going to come their way going forward in their careers. So this team has a lot going for them going forward. And, we're not done yet, obviously, this year, but you're right. This rivalry is going to be alive and well here for the coming years. And the Brewers are going to certainly be, in the conversation going forward, because of all the talent for the class in that NL Central, and they're going to be battling the Cubs all the way.
Yeah, it's a great point, Vinny. And the Brewers got the best of it this time around. Maybe it'll be different in the future. We hope it'll continue the way it is. But that's a great point. This could be one for years to come. And I'll say this, though. I think you're absolutely right. I think it was cathartic. I think maybe as great as that relief can feel, as well as the euphoria victory Brewers fans felt it did feel like a burden was lifted off the shoulders of the organization a little bit. And I think I'm interested to see what you think. Could that have a really positive effect for them in the LCS? Now that they've got that kind of lifted off their shoulders, they can kind of attack this series with more of a free attitude.
Yeah, no, I actually do, because think about, it would be hard. It's going to be hard. I guess seventh game of the World Series notwithstanding, I guess any game in the World Series notwithstanding, it's going to be hard to replicate the emotion that they felt during the entirety of that game, of Game 5, from pitch one to pitch, the last pitch of the game, the last out that was made. That was one of the most. That's the most intense baseball game I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I was so nervous the entire game, and I'm sitting there watching it as a fan in section 208 with the rest of the Brewers employees and their wives and stuff. And I can't tell you. So is it going to be that nerve-wracking from pitch to pitch? It's not going to be in this series unless there is a Game 7 only, or I guess any kind of elimination game if the Brewers are with their backs up against the wall. The point that I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that is because this is a 7-game series. This is a series where, you took care of business against the Dodgers in 6 games. I know it's a different team. They have, more healthy arms that are back in their lineup. I know that the position players are performing a little bit better than when they faced them earlier in the season. However, it doesn't feel like it's going to have the same weight and gravity. It's going to be huge. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is going to be huge, a chance to go to the World Series. But it's that the weight and gravity of that Game 5 was unreal. So yes, I do think this team is going to have a little bit more of a free and easy mindset, a little bit, not all the way, but when you go ahead and take victory and win that Game 5, it releases that pressure valve a little bit on the team, on the group, and then you guys can go out and play a little bit more of the style of play that you played in the regular season, just because the postseason is so much different than the regular season. I think these guys are settling into that.
I want to ask you one thing about Game 1 here tonight and your pitching plan for it, Vinny. But to that point, Tim Allen said it on the post-game show after the game, and I thought in the moment, I'm like, all right, Timmy, let's not be a little bit too prisoner of the moment. Let's not be too dramatic. But I think he was spot on where he's like, at some point, it felt like the last 4 or 5 years were almost on trial. These last 3 years of winning the division and not being able to move on were like on trial to validate what you're doing in the process in the Brewer way, so to speak. You had to get something done, and to have it be against that team, it did feel like there was a lot of the bites at the apple theory and the summer of entertainment and passion. Felt like there was going to be a real dunk factor if it went the other way. It kind of felt like it was almost on trial Saturday night.
100%. Yes, I actually think you lose fans. You lose Brewer fans. They would have taken a lot of people a very, very long time to get over a loss like that. And they went and they won it. And they could feel the gravity of the moment too. The team. I talked to a bunch of people on the team, in the front office, on the coaching staff. They said this game feels very, very big to us, and they could feel it. And so they went out and they did it. And yeah, it's going to be different here against the Dodgers. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be huge. It's just going to be a little bit less pressure on the team, which, you never know. They could play free and easy, and they can go out and just hopefully take it in 4. Why not? We'll see what happens.
It's a hell of a day to have a day. Brewers in 6 seems pretty good. Milwaukee in 6 games. We like that one as well. Vinny, what do you think the plan is here tonight? And can we just have Trevor McGill just lock up and set the tone like he did in Game 5? That was kind of fun. I'd be fine with that.
I love that. Yeah, no, I love that. It's a great idea. Yeah, he definitely set the tone. I love how he riled the crowd up after he went 1, 2, 3 in that first inning. I think Priester, you got to go with some guys that can give you length and some guys that have got you there, right? So Priester and Quintana are going to factor into this game, in this series, clearly. I mean, you only have 3 starting pitchers, and you do have some guys that weren't even on the NLDS that can provide some length for you as well. I mean, I don't know if an Eric Fetty is going to be on the roster. Remember, they have to announce the roster by 10 a.m., so we'll see what happens. I'm actually really excited to see who they announce for the roster. Maybe an Eric Fetty, maybe a Tobias Myers gonna give them some length out there. So we'll see. I'm excited. I still,
can
my
hear
voice
it. We
is
can hear
still
it.
Trashed. Oh my goodness.
Well, we love it. We can hear it, Vinny, and we know how real it is, and that's why we love you.
A warm tea with just a tick of honey.
Honey, chamomile, maybe.
It's gonna be like chicken soup for the soul.
Awesome. All right, I'll get that going, guys.
We appreciate it, man.
Happy.
Enjoy the game tonight, and thanks for the time, man. It's a phenomenal time for us Brewers fans.
Yep, no doubt. All right, guys, have a good day.
There he is, Vinny Rottino, hanging out with us here. No one enjoys. I feel pretty confident in saying this. I don't know anybody that loves baseball like Vinny Rottino.
Oh, you can just hear it.
It's one of my favorite reasons that he's on the broadcast, because he loves baseball, and it's infectious to watch him talk about any and every level of the game. That kind of I love watching people live their best lives, and watching Vinny Rottino talk about baseball. He's doing that. He's doing that.
I mean, he's part of the prep baseball here in Wisconsin. He cares about the youth in his home state. He was born to be a Brewer. I'm glad he's back here working for the Brewers broadcast. He's awesome. He's an amazing human being.
You're exactly right. Wisconsin baseball in particular even means more to a Wisconsin guy. Awesome time. Thanks for the time, Vinny Rottino. And let's go Brewers. Let's go Brewers at 877-794-1973. Join us on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line. It's a Victory Chicken Monday, and it's a I Hate LA Monday on the game.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors delivers. We swept the People's Choice Awards. Best roofing, best siding, best windows, and best overall home improvement company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard with expert craftsmanship, top materials, and service that keeps homeowners coming back. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com and experience the difference today.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the border in Lake County, Illinois. The Packers beat the Bengals. It was a good one at Lambeau Field. 27-18 the final. Jordan Love threw for 259 and a score. Josh Jacobs rushed for almost 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Packers get to 3-1-1 on the season. They'll visit the Cardinals next Sunday. Sunday night football. The Chiefs cap off the day with a 30-17 win over the Lions. Tonight you have 2 Monday night games with the Falcons visiting the Bills and the Commanders hosting the Bears. Right back at it for the Brewers, the NLCS. Game 1 tonight at American Family Field against the Dodgers. First pitch, 7:08. Milwaukee hit 3 home runs in a 3-1 win over the Cubs to wrap up the division series on Saturday. Preseason basketball, the Bucks beat the Bulls 127-121 as Miles Turner and Kyle Kuzma both scored 19 points. I'm Scott Dolphin on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, The Game.
Low energy, no drive, crashing by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I felt the same way until I got tested at Game Day Men's Health. Drew Olson here. Sign up for your fast, free T-level test. Get real results. Book now at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and visit one of the 5 area locations to get back in the game.
Craving something sweet? Step into the flavor of a good old-fashioned bake sale, Quick Trip style. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our premium donuts. Now just $2.99 for a 3-pack. Choose from Quick Trip's fluffy Long Johns, rich Persians, classic Bismarcks, or ring donuts. So delicious, just like the ones at your hometown bake sale. Quick Trip's premium donuts. Now only $2.99 for a 3-pack. A sweet deal. Too delicious to pass up. So treat yourself today. Only at Quick Trip.
KB,
what's going on, my brother?
It's happening.
What? What's happening?
The best time of year for Iron Jock Performance hoodies. Cooler temperatures, October baseball, fall football. Does it get any better than right now?
Well, yeah. Yes, it does. Now through October 19th, Iron Jock is offering you, our smart and good-looking listeners, the best hoodie on the planet for 30% less. Just use the code hoodie30. Your hoodie price goes down 30%, and your hardest decision will be, do I go with blue, black, gray, or silver?
Wet wicking, odor fighting, 4-way stretch comfort, and built to last.
And you'll also get a free beanie with your hoodie order. No extra steps. They just toss it in like they know you needed it.
The Iron Jock beanie wears like a winter hat, but it's lighter and thinner and fits just right for walks or outdoor activities. The perfect fit to take the chill off your head.
Iron Jock hoodies, 30% off with the code hoodie30 now through October 19th.
Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
And we did that what's your name thing. Where you from and what's your favorite drink? She said, shut up, come and dance with me. And now she's singing, girls just wanna have fun at the top of her lungs. Don't even know.
No BS on the game. How about a happy birthday to our guy, Dave Gasper?
Come on now, bringing in cupcakes.
Just came into the building, had some cupcakes from his mom made in celebration on Saturday. What a celebration. Dave Gasper. I might have to counter something I said last break. There's one other person I know that loves baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe as much as Vinny Rottino.
That's true.
Dave Gasper.
Yeah, that's very true. Dave's definitely
Gasper
up there.
Loves baseball. For
Yeah.
that to be the way that he got the ring in his birthday, And now also a little bit of a wifed up young man. Armin, I'm proud of him.
Wait, what? About him? Hold on.
Dave Gasper's got a GF. I heard
he's got a GF.
I heard on the Doug and Nick
Yeah,
Spectacular.
we heard it on a different show, which is fine. It used to be on our show.
Yeah,
But
it used to be
once-
on our show, but
I've been guilty of that too, dropping breaking news on a different show. So
yeah,
we're happy
You taught
for
him
Dave.
that trick.
Now I understand what that little peppermint step is going to be, and let's be honest, I would
Real
be too if I had
peppermint young man
Mama Gasper making the cupcakes right here, hooking it up for us. I really appreciate that. So I'm not going to do it in one bite like you did. That was impressive work.
Well, that was the thing that if you were the fat kid in elementary school, you kind of had to do to get a gentle laugh, right? Like everyone came in with cupcakes. It was like, oh, let's watch Billy try to eat it all in one bite. And then you end up doing it. But listen, you just laughed because then they were laughing with you, not at you.
Hey,
They were
you know
still
what?
laughing at you.
It's a lot cleaner process. You know, you didn't get your hands full of frosting, all that stuff. No, you just eat the whole thing in one bite.
That was still a damn good cupcake.
Oh my goodness, I'm ready to
I
eat
think
mine.
Mrs. Gasper?
Yes, 100%. I'll tell you this, the taste of Cubs fans' tears, pretty dang good as well. And a little bit of house money feel, 877-794-1973. Eric in a dump truck said, we need years and years of that blonde Cubs fan crashing out on TikTok. Anybody get an update from that young lady after Game 5?
Oh, yeah, Miss Bree?
Yeah, we missed it.
No, I'll slide in the DMs, though, and ask her.
You would.
I'll take
slide
that
in the
bullet.
DMs. You already slide in every girl named Bree's DMs.
Jeez,
Bree and
Louise. 877-794-1973. If that's the heat to close hour 3, you don't want to miss hour 4. It's next on the game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Eastbound 94 on the break 70th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Also have a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder at Highway F. Northbound 4145 tapping the brakes in between Watertown, Plank, and Burleigh this morning. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by ARR Recycling in Waukesha and West Dallas.
Recycling pays. Go to ARR Recycles with your recyclable copper, brass, lead, steel, or aluminum and get cash. Visit them at ARR1938.com or stop into their West Dallas or Waukesha location. ARR Recycles since 1938.
5 words no one wants to hear. You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Drew Olson from 97.3 The Game, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Semperfi Roofing, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Semperfi has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates, for a limited time, Semperfi is offering 5-year no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Semperfi Roofing has got your back. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection to assess the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. Call 262-600-2910 or go online to semperfi.com. That's semperfi.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Wax is dead. At Charisma Customs, our ceramic coating packages actually works and protects your paint, giving your vehicle a mirror-like shine. Our ceramic coatings have superior defense against dirt, grime, road salt, bugs, and UV rays. With several packages and options, we have a solution right for you. The ease of washing and maintenance, plus your paint will look amazing for many years. Book your ceramic coating today at Charisma Customs in Delafield. Call 262-444-2525 or visit charismacustoms.com. Shine, protect, drive with confidence.
KB.
Yes, Drew.
Cooler temperatures, October baseball, fall football. Does it get any better?
Well, actually, it does get better. Now through October 19th, Iron Jock is offering you 30% off the best hoodie on the planet with the code HOODIE30.
Sweat wicking, odor fighting, 4-way stretch comfort, and built to last.
Plus a free beanie, cuz why not?
Iron Jock hoodies, 30% off with the code HOODIE30. Now through October 19th.
Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
You'll love your new Iron Jock hoodie.
This October, Russ Darrow Automotive Group has scary good deals. They're clearing out the 2024 and 2025 models to make room for the all-new 2026s. And that means you get hauntingly low prices on a massive selection of vehicles. From Nissan, Honda, Mazda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Mitsubishi, Kia, and Toyota, we've got the brands you love all in stock and ready to roll. Don't let these scary good deals disappear into the night. Hurry to Russ Darrow Automotive Group today or shop online anytime at russdarrow.com.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze, before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Fox on Tech. What did that WhatsApp caller want? Maybe they'll start leaving you a voicemail. WhatsApp is gaining some popularity in the U.S. It is a messaging app by Meta that has a lot of fans overseas, mainly because it relies on data and not cellular minutes, which is a cost saver for folks in Europe, Asia, and Africa. But one thing you couldn't do in WhatsApp is leave a voicemail, but that is expected to change soon. Voice messages in WhatsApp aren't new. Users are able to record them and send them within chats. Technoblog reports that in a WhatsApp beta update for Android phones, if a call goes unanswered, the user will now get a button to record a voice message within the phone call. No need to leave the calling environment and head into the chat with that particular contact. The big question for US users, however, is will they check their WhatsApp voicemail in addition to their other messages? With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel.
Let's get this going right now.
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
It may sound corny to some, but if you lived it the way we did, Uke's presence was here, and they didn't want to let him down, especially this series, because being close rivals, and I got great respect for the Cubs, believe me, great respect. That's been told many times, but it was important to these guys because it's the rival, to finish the job. So, and they know Uke is smiling.
Smiling down as the skies paint a beautiful scene on this glorious Victory Chicken Monday. Welcome in. It's No BS, hour 4, 9 a.m. And we're celebrating in I Hate LA. Brewers are in the NLCS. Packers are the second team in the second seed in the NFC. Holy cow, Armin Sarian, life is good on this Victory Chicken
Life's
Monday.
good, man. Life's good. And these, these have been the good old days in Wisconsin sports for a while. And I've been kind of constantly looking around the corner to see, are they good old days almost over? Like with one way or the other?
Sure, yeah.
And guess what? We kept rolling with it. And which is why I love it. A lot of times you think, hey, maybe it's over, and it's not. You keep rolling with it. So you gotta have that belief. You gotta have that positivity. And the Brewers are obviously, and the Packers won. The Brewers are obviously providing that for us right now. And Billy, I can conjure up some anti-LA stuff if you want me to in my head. I can start thinking about that stuff, building them as a boogeyman in my head.
Oh, I think it's very easy.
Besides the fact that they spend all the money everywhere else, besides the fact that, they think they're the best. And
Don't forget Freddie Freeman called American Family Field a Little League Park.
Right, obviously. And let's be honest with you.
Mookie Betts was on the 2018 Boston Red Sox, right?
That's
cheating
true.
rat. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go there.
And I'm sorry, you can save me with the whole Dodger dog thing. It's a hot dog, all right?
Hot dog.
It's a processed piece of meat, all right? If every time we had a piece of meat and we nicknamed it, I mean, come on.
Well, how about your Fenway dogs?
Franks?
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what? I'll tell you, everybody's out there eating these Fenway Franks, these Dodger dogs. They're spending all this money just because it's a hot dog, all right? Come have a bratwurst. All right, you want a real piece of meat? You want a sausage? Come have a bratwurst.
Take this sausage in your mouth.
I bet you they've never had some secret stadium sauce.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, yeah, LA. Who wants to drive in the traffic to get to Chavez Ravine anyway?
2 hours from Riverside, California to Malibu during a game when I was at NAU in 2019. Just the dumbest thing. And it's the middle of the day in traffic. I'm like, what is it like at 5 p.m.? And
they'll make it in the 6th inning.
They'll
make
there.
it by the 6th inning.
Oh,
no doubt about
there.
it. There's a lot of good ones to be able to hate on. And no Manny Machado this time around against the Dodgers in in 2018 pennant, but maybe there will be some. I think we'll find a couple, and there will be some individuals that we all start really despising over this next 7-game series. Got a couple of great shots of the sky this morning. Christopher sent us in an amazing shot of a rainbow that was just over Milwaukee earlier on today. Some saying the sky is shining down, some, calling for more love from Bob Uecker. I thought it was a incredible celebration and ode to Bob on Saturday night. And we've mentioned it and it's been talked about. It will be the conversation, and the year of Uke is 2025. Like, as much as this is the greatest Brewers season, it starts with maybe the biggest Brewers loss of all time when Uecker ends up finally passing away in January. But for him to be able to still be the conversation going into the National League Championship Series, and him be so prominently celebrated as he was and talked about, like Freddie Peralta with Sophia after Game 5, he brings him up instantly as somebody that was one of the driving forces for their belief in each other. Man, it's just awesome. It is just so cool to know how celebrated he still is by a bunch of guys that, granted, there are the Yelich's and Peraltas and Woodruffs that had
close relationships,
7 years of a relationship with him, but a lot of these guys were only impacted by Bob for a short time. The living legend continues to live on with this baseball team.
Absolutely, and you really can feel his presence, and it can sound cliche sometimes, but I think in this case, it's definitely not. It's real. You can feel his presence. You can feel the impact it makes on the club, and you feel how important it is for everyone to keep his memory alive no matter what. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that wondered how the call would have sounded with Bob on the last out, or the Bryce Turang home run. I mean, you just, those are the things you're always going to have in your head, and you should. I mean, legends never die. So Bob's, obviously the legend of all legends when it comes to Brewers, Milwaukee baseball, and he's our guy and he's with us, and it makes it all that more special. Pictures in the clubhouse, all those type of things. And Billy, it's remarkable. I was thinking
and
back,
TBS playing Major League before the broadcast on Saturday night.
How about that?
Way to understand the assignment, TBS.
And it's funny when I love Major League. Even I love the other ones. Bob was in 2 and 3. Nobody watched 3, but he was hilarious. He was hilarious, and 3 is the best part of it. The Back to the Minors, and you even think of, like Pete Crow Armstrong, trying to climb like 1 million feet to get, jumping for a fly ball that he has no chance. And you think of Bob in Major League too, he's going to need a rocket up his ass to catch that one, like stuff like that. Like his presence is always with you. And it's, it's been one of the most special parts of a special year. And it made me think about last year's loss to the Mets and how devastating that is as a player to lose a game like that, and have your season end like that. And I think to a man, and we kind of sensed it because Bob had those conversations with all the guys behind the doors and everything. Mm-hmm. This is how amazing his impact was on those guys, that after the most devastating loss, they're all seemingly, that's what was more devastating for them, was the conversation with Bob.
And that they were going to be losing him.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And it just shows you that his impact was so much more stronger than any just sort of baseball broadcast or baseball game. And but the legend never dies. Legend lives on forever. So let's get this one for Bob.
The heart and soul of Brewers baseball will live on, and Bob Uecker is absolutely that part of it. I still think that there is going to be something potentially beautiful and poetic about the two voices now of the Milwaukee Brewers in the year that we lose the all-time voice of the Milwaukee Brewers and Bob Uecker, that BA and Jeff Levering, or BA and Lane Grindle, be calling the Brewers going to the World Series and winning the pennant. And the first time they'll be National League champions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something beautiful for them
is.
to be the ones to be able to do that here this year. And BA will be on the TBS call. Obviously, Lev and Lane Grindle will be on the radio call. I like this one from Christopher, and it brings up a very interesting question. Actually, before that, Tyler and GB said, Dodgers have a huge following, but let's be the honest maid of the country, the honest maid part of the country's favorite team. Because if the Brewers lose, everyone will be starting to cheer for the AL winner. Brewers win this, and they'll be the freshest matchup in years. Tyler and GB is exactly right.
Well, that's an underlying storyline for baseball as well about I don't want to call Seattle a small market. It's a big city. But teams that were not, the top 4 or 5 halves of baseball money wise, and potentially, obviously, the Brewers being the biggest underdog in terms of market and money and all those things of them all in a time where the economics of baseball is a bigger story than ever, right?
Yes.
Coming up on things like the CBA and all that stuff.
And that's where Christopher said MLB will want the Dodgers to win to give them more leverage into the collective bargaining agreement or collective bargaining negotiations next year. Players are better off if the small market team wins. I actually think that's flipped.
Yeah.
Players want the big markets to win because they want more of the big markets to say, we can spend all the money. However, I think to Chris's point, maybe, I'm just going to contradict myself here, that if the small market wins, the players can say, see, you can win. The 30th largest media market, and they spent $120 million.
Yeah.
That's a good, comfortable amount. It's obviously not what the Dodgers are, but they can beat them in a series just like anybody else. So it is a fascinating time in Major League Baseball. That's why you got to go win one, because nothing's guaranteed. Right. We talk about nothing being guaranteed for tomorrow. In Major League Baseball, you don't know what's guaranteed after next year. So go out and win the one that's in front of you with the best team that the Brewers have maybe ever had. And there's so many exciting things about the team, but I do love the catchphrases that have continued to jump on. 414 said, who started this Average Joe thing? You can't give yourself your own nickname. So I don't buy it, and I don't like the name for them. I don't think it fits the Brewers. They're a good team. Look at what they did to the Dodgers during the regular season. Why are we being overlooked?
Well, Average Joes can still achieve great things. You ever watch Dodgeball? Anybody? Yeah. I mean, I know it's been like 20 years.
That's where it comes from.
That was Average Joe's gym. I mean, come on now. They won.
And with Patches as the man leading the charge. And also, that movie is just one that I think we ultimately want to continue to bring up. So you find different ways to crowbar in Dodgeball into the conversation.
The only thing is the Lance Armstrong bit at the end doesn't really kind of hold up as well.
Why not?
After we know all that really happened with
that's a fair point. Yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah, but no, that was that was a fantastic movie. Anything to keep that one alive. But yeah, I mean, we're the Average Joes. Can you give yourself a nickname? I don't know. I think it's a fair point, but I think these things are all strategic by Pat Murphy. I think he wants his guys thinking that way. A chip on their shoulder, thinking that the Dodgers are America's team, all that stuff.
They also got smoked earlier this year, and it kills me. I can't remember who they were playing. Regular season game on either a Friday or Saturday. I would have been there, and Murph started his press conference by saying, "Look around the league. We didn't spend money like the rest of these teams." He's been completely honest and calculated when he says things all season long.
Yeah, and Luddy, that's a great point. In the beginning of the year, I kept mentioning it. Like, I don't know that I've ever heard a manager more openly criticize and question the spending of the organization, and then when they don't spend, to double down and be like, oh, well, clearly we didn't spend any money. I mean, like, we lost Adames, we lost Devin Williams. What did we replace him with? This Mighty Mouse kid? Like, good luck on that deal.
For what it's worth, though, he basically looked around the rest of the league and went, well, nobody else kind of did it too. I mean, the top teams, the Dodgers, a
lot of them did. Yeah, good point.
They're going to go spend a big amount of money, but even the teams, because the Brewers are the 30th ranked market, the teams from 29 to 15 basically. Did they really spend? No, they didn't. And here the Brewers are 30th, and I mean, not even close to 30th in attendance.
Yeah, it's just they've done so much with not even so little, because they've spent to the level that the market allows for, but definitely maximizing and putting to test the theory that as long as you win, people will come and they'll spend some money. Jason and Colgate said #BrewersIn6. I'm not scared. It doesn't have the same ring to it. But Brandon Jennings did put it out yesterday that it's going to be Brewers.
I like him doing that for the culture, man. I appreciate that. Bucks and 6, the battle cry. Why can't that be ours here too? And that, we appreciate that. I'd love to see Brandon Jennings at a game. Love to see those tough crowd hats.
Would be a fan of that. I saw Miles Turner celebrating the little dance there on Saturday night. Not able to do that in Indiana.
A lot of Bucks showed up for the Brewers game 5. I think I saw that, right? So
nice to see some Indiana basketball stars rocking Cubs gear.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Maybe you all should have. Maybe you all should have listened to me when I was questioning our man Tyrese Halliburton a little bit.
Oh, I was talking about your girl Caitlin Clark, but yeah, I did see Tyrese Halliburton.
At least Caitlin grew up in Des Moines. All right, it went to Dowling Catholic. What's that?
Not really. That's where you're shooting at? Okay, yeah, I guess.
I mean, if I'm going to send one to Bria, I might as well send one to Caitlin. I can just kind of copy paste stuff. No, maybe not.
Bro, it's a numbers game. Just do as many as you can. I mean, as many as you can.
The DM like a college grad's using the
swiping
the cover letter on an application.
Doesn't matter.
Let me just change in. I would be very excited to take up a position at insert company name here.
Insert college program here. I've done
I
that.
have worked in a lot of different opportunities where I can be of service. I liked Andy in Thiensville. He hit up. I was listening to the post game on Saturday night. Did you guys hear McGill's interview after the game? I think he swore 4 times, said the F word, and the host was like, yeah, we're on live radio. And then the interviewer and the host said McGill continued to cuss even more times than the Cubs had hits. It was amazing.
He does not care. He is cut to his own cloth, and when he gets fired up, he is in a good mood, and you are not stopping Trevor McGill from what he is saying.
It's that, and it's that, and it's more. I got bad news for you producers out here. Keep your delays high, because the more these guys get, the generations change, they're going to think they're on podcasts all the time. They can swear it all the time.
Think they're on the McAfee show every time.
You're not. This is still terrestrial radio. Keep your delay high. Keep your finger ready on the dump button, because you got to be prepared, because these guys don't know anymore. I'm sorry, they just don't know anymore. John the Engineer, my biggest takeaway from this series is that Aaron Savali better get his World Series championship ring if we win it all. Deciding he wanted to go on an ego trip. I don't want to do this though to Aaron Savali. Everybody's got a right to fight for their own career, and obviously he was getting boxed out of the Brewers rotation, and he wanted to go start. I think he actually handled that in a great way. I really do. When Aaron Savali asked for a trade, he was respectful about it. He said he loved being a Brewer. He just wanted a chance to go pitch more. I don't know how you guys feel. I didn't have a big problem with it. I think he would get a World Series ring. So I love you, John. I don't think it was an ego trip, though, and remain a starter. I think he wanted to make a career out of himself. So I kind of always have been a different direction on that whole deal.
I just thank him.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
right.
If it's not for that, you're not getting Andrew Vaughn and maybe the best lightning in a bottle pickup that there has been in franchise history. So, I mean, if it's not, and I'm kind of with you, Armin, like he's going into an free agency year. There's far more money available for you as a starting pitcher. If you're going to squawk like that, maybe be better as a starting pitcher. Like, I think that would be my only,
I agree.
Retort to the conversation. Like, he then was so bad that the Chicago White Sox were like, you know what? Actually, we don't want you starting games for us either. So maybe it wasn't that great for him.
Right.
Maybe he should have went into the bullpen. He would have made even more money.
You know who didn't care about him being nice about it? Pat Murphy. He said, you're going to go out to the bullpen. You're going to like it.
You're going to
sit out there until we tell you to pitch, and then we're going to trade you, and then you're going to leave.
But to Zavali's point, he did that. He did it, and they acquiesced.
He sucked it up.
Okay, so I guess I've never been I'm glad it worked out for us, that part, but I've never been as like,
this is strange because you like making sure that we continue to remember that we win the deal or win the trade.
Oh, I like that. I like that we win. I want us to win every trade, and I cheer for that to happen. I guess I just didn't have as much of a problem with Aaron asking it the way he did. And so there's been pitchers in the past that have sulked, that have made it a problem. I don't think he did. However, he didn't have as much leverage either to do it.
When you're sitting there with a 5.5 ERA, you don't necessarily have a whole lot of leverage to be sulking around.
And it is a lot better to say that and easier to say that when I know we did win the trade. So I can be
that's
the bigger
fair.
man.
Yeah, hindsight is definitely 2020 in this one.
I can be the bigger man. I thought that was interesting too. To get back to Game 5 one more time. I know we got to move on to the NLCS, but I still want to enjoy it a little more.
Oh, you can soak and bask in this stuff for a long time. No doubt.
It was so symbolic the way the Brewers won, because it was almost like the Matt Arnold masterclass. Right, in a lot of ways, the home runs, right? You coming from William Contreras, right? A guy that ended up coming through in one of the least popular trades in Brewers history at the time, right? Albeit not immediately, but it became that, right? Andrew Vaughn, one of the most unexpectedly great pickups ever, very important home run, and leading into it, and then you get Bryce Terang, a guy that was homegrown, so pretty awesome. And you go, he has this group of pitchers, right, that all seemed to perform and all came through. And Mizorowski, we talked about it, but even the Chad Patricks, all important. Whether or not you were a first rounder or 30th, they were all important to that whole group. And so it was kind of a culmination of the work that Matt Arnold had put in. I thought it was a celebration of his ability in that Game 5.
Remember, we had our friend Luke in Wausau hit us up on Friday saying that on Thursday saying that he really needed the Brewers to win in Game 4. because he was the best man at a wedding on Saturday.
Yeah, poor
He's going to be
Luke.
really struggling on a game 5. He said, people at the had the game on at the wedding I was at. Huge cheer for that last out. Luke, how long did you spend at the bar? That's the real question, because depending on how long and how many times you had to sit through and wonder. Okay, it's 2-1. Oh, wait. Holy cow, 3-1. All right, now we got the insurance. Once his speech was over, I assume he planted himself pretty quickly.
At that point, they're already married. They signed the thing. The speech is just whatever.
Yeah,
Who
100%.
cares?
I
It
mean,
could be the worst speech ever. They're still married.
and as long as you're not the designated, even, the best man probably is going to be the one that has to sign for the witness.
all
you
that
don't have
stuff.
anything to do.
Yeah.
That's why when you're
And the speech,
selected to do the officiant
Yeah,
stuff,
that's bigger.
do all that stuff before. Do stuff before the wedding. Because at some point, the officiant is no longer, carrying the service. And then you're going to start drinking.
Mm.
And then you're going to forget about it.
And it's over.
Then the next morning, your friend is going to walk over to you and say, hey, man, how do we fill this out? You're like, I don't know. Why are you asking me? I don't know, dude, because you did the wedding. Oh, sweet. I probably should know that. Yeah.
I guess you guys aren't officially married.
I guess you guys aren't really married. The great party you guys threw. 877-794-1973. Red Hot Tim Knott said, my 5 and 6-year-old girls have never wanted to sit down with me and watch a baseball game before. They were jacked on Saturday night. Proud dad moment, and the crew is moving on. That's beautiful for the soul.
Speaking of that, I was pretty excited that Lena, my 15-month-old daughter, thought it was hilarious when I started getting real mad when that Seiya Suzuki homer went out the park. I was like, come on, we just give it a lead right away. You gotta be kidding me. Just looking at me laughing.
Oh, no, just taking on her mom. Was her mom laughing at you too?
No, it wasn't actually. I was pretty impressed. She was kind of helping, cheering for us. I was like,
oh, there we go. Come on, Mara. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See, she's a smart lady.
Yeah,
877-794-1973. 877-794-1973. Brewers and Dodgers tonight in the NLCS Game 1. We're talking about it. And then fire in a parlay of the day. Still on the other side, it's no BS on the game.
Kibby here. Who doesn't love pizza? I mean, I do. I like to visit my favorite pizza places, but sometimes my craving hits and I don't have time to go out and eat. So I go to my freezer, pull out a Pep's Draft House pizza, because Pep's Draft House pizza isn't one of those just toss a pizza in the oven pizzas. It's made right here in Wisconsin with tons of toppings and real Wisconsin cheese. No one is crushing one of these. Don't believe me? Try one today and make your house a Draft House with Pep's Pizza.
From the Lynch GM Superstore in Burlington, Total Traffic Center.
Eastbound 94 on the break, 70th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Also have a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder at Highway F. Northbound 4145, tapping the brakes in between Watertown, Plank, and Burleigh this morning. I'm Dominic Fortini. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling. 0 payments, 0 interest for 18 months. First Choice Heating makes new HVAC affordable. No credit hassles, no minimums on select equipment. Call First Choice now. Your comfort can't wait. First Choice Heating and Cooling.
It's Brian Butch for Window Nation. October is here, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, that's a big deal. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
You ever hear a deal so good you think, what's the catch?
Yes, when I got a free gym membership, and the catch was I still had to go.
Well, right now, Capital is offering great financing, no catch.
No selling a kidney?
Nope, just easy financing and honest service during Capital Credit Days. Now through October 31st, air conditioners start as low as $65 a month, furnaces only $59 a month, or a complete system only $117 a month.
Capital, where you choose cool or cozy with no catch financing.
Call CapitalCares.com.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with GlideStep, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology? Just step in and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try GlideStep hands-free Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Packers took down the Bengals at Lambeau. Josh Jacobs rushed for nearly 100 yards and 2 scores. Brewers take on the Dodgers tonight in Game 1 of the NLCS in Milwaukee. Brewers looking to clinch a spot in the Fall Classic for the first time since 1982. ALCS, Mariners clipped the Blue Jays, take Game 1 in Toronto. Bucks knocked off the Bulls in preseason play. I'm Veronica Moss.
Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I just want to say I listen to you on iHeartRadio every morning.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Our favorite 4-letter word. Free! Free! Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
The kick is blocked! It is blocked! It is blocked! And the Packers have won! Beautiful!
The home of your Green Bay Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
97.3 The Game. Milwaukee's best bet is VSiN, the sports betting network. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest every night at 6 on Fox Sports 920. We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Come on and dance, come on and dance. You may not get another chance. No, the night is falling and the music's calling and we got to get down to it. Swing down.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, Luddy. Don't miss your chance to dance. NLCS tonight, Game 1, Brewers and Dodgers. Yesterday, the Packers got a, I guess you could call it like a pedestrian 27-18 win. Is that a fair way of putting it, Armin Sarian? It was I said workmanlike earlier on. It didn't feel really to me the game was ever in doubt. Mm-hmm. Jordan Love, I thought, was really, really good. Not yet great. There's still 1 to 2 plays in there that at least that would keep it from being there. There's still a lot of meat maybe left on the offensive bone in the first couple of series. But at times, the defense was awesome. At times, it left some to be desired. Jamar Chase made some great plays. But, man, you make a living winning games by 9 points, 2 scores, and people are disappointed with it. That's pretty good living to make.
I mean, yeah, I thought Jordan Love played really good, especially when it mattered the most in the second half, hitting the big third down to Golden, making sure this team, because the Bengals kept clawing their way back into this thing, and he kept them at arm's length, and I give him a lot of credit.
The fight the Bengals showed was rather impressive.
A lot of fight, and to be honest with you, I mean, the offense had to keep coming through. It wasn't like they backed into victory in any sense, at least score-wise. Now, the Browns, if they held out against the Browns, they would have kind of coasted or backed into victory or fell into victory a little more because the offense couldn't keep extending that lead. But the offense in this game kept extending the lead, which I think was a difference. So you can call it workmanlike, pedestrian. I'd say more workmanlike. There's a lot of games that might not seem the sexiest in the world, that weren't the most exciting, that you might not remember, but special seasons have victories like that in the end you don't remember, but are necessary to give you the win, to get you in your spot, to keep stacking up another win. Put the Packers in first place today, right? Unless I'm mistaken, they're in first place because of the way the standings shake out with
700 win percentage puts the Packers in first place.
Yeah. So, I know our guy Walt from Wasaki last night on Packers OT was not happy. He
wanted more.
Wishes we were just more like the Lions. Well, I got news for you. The Lions are 3-2. So, the Packers, 4-2, sorry. The Packers end up getting it done yesterday. And it might not be a win that we remember down the road, Billy, but if the Packers do things that they want to do this year, it's one they had to have.
How about a win that you don't really remember that was a huge win? 2010, a 9-0 victory on the road at
the Jets,
against New York.
Jets,
that was
great
the
example.
moment of okay, maybe this team really does have the defense to go all the way, and they did.
Yeah, that's a great point, Letty, because there's different games, and then yesterday again, 17-3, they lose Puka Nacua, so it's a little bit different. But that Rams result isn't going to inspire a whole lot of just dominant conversation, right? It's not going to generate a ton of that conversation.
No, but you got to win games like that sometimes.
Yeah, you got to win the games that are in front of you, and also it was a little bit of a weirder game in terms of the volume of possessions, especially into the second half. And coming off a game in which you spit up to back-to-back weeks a double-digit lead, it was nice to know that anytime that lead got threatened, that you quickly were able to push the margin back out to 2 scores. I thought that response was one of the bigger parts of the game.
And not for nothing, a big help was our I'm totally blanking on his name. And now Haversick. Thank
Lucas,
you.
yeah.
Lucas Haversick stepped up big with some big important field goals.
He was looking for a part-time job last week, then had a trial with New York. Next thing you know, he's in Green Bay kicking, and I guess he doesn't need that part-time job anymore.
And a really cool story that he is friends with his mom in
cousin's brother, something or another. Yeah.
Matt Orzik. I should have it in front of me. I don't. So I'm going to mess it up. I believe it's Matt Orzik's mom and Haversick's dad work together, or vice versa.
It's who you know, huh?
And they'll train together during the offseason. Yeah, and obviously he's got a pedigree. He had some time in the UFL. He kicked in college, was working his way back into a possibility, trying to get opportunities. And then when Whalen and Orzik work on the operation during the offseason, he's the kicker.
All right, Lucas Haversick's mom and Packers long snapper Matt Orzik's dad worked together at Citibank National. Haversick's brother played with Orzik at Azusa Pacific out in California.
Oh, yes.
They trained together in the offseason. That's how he got to know Danny Whalen. So that's why the process of the kick was probably pretty seamless.
Was flawless.
Once again, a long snapper. They're
all about who you know.
It's all about who you know. And Azusa Pacific, nice. The Christian Okoye. Christian Okoye played at Azusa Pacific.
Is that Billy? What is that? D2?
I think it's NAIA. I could be wrong.
I should know that.
Never heard of that school, so I would love to be able to give them more credit. I like that you just knew where Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah, he threw his throwing discus there, and they said, "You want to try football?" And the next thing you know, he dominated. So you never know. I love this game. That's how things go like that. But hey, he was huge. He doesn't hit that second field goal to end the game. This is a completely different looking thing. You're talking about a team that just came right back on you and got the 2-point conversion, which is going to make you shake in your boots a little more if you don't get some points there. And the Packers ripped the big third down to Golden, but couldn't convert on the 3rd and 2.
Yep.
So couldn't run the clock out. So you're like, all right, we need this points. We need this 2-possession lead. He doesn't make that. We're talking about a different situation. It could have been a loss.
If there was any second guessing to be done, the throwback on the play action to Golden leaking off to the left on the play action on that 3rd and 2, maybe a little bit, but I think it's interesting that you're going to Matthew Golden in that spot, right? Like, I think that's the biggest conversation is that's where the level of trust between him and Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur is with Matthew Golden, and their belief in him is like, that's what we're calling a play where he's the primary read on a gotta have it moment. Same thing in Dallas last week on that 4th and 6. He's the primary read on the crosser that keeps the game alive. Those are things that you want to be thrusting that young player into. You want to be forcing him into those spots because he's just too good to leave off the field. Those are good things. However, again, there's room for improvement, no doubt. But Josh Jacobs now won off the National Football League lead for rushing touchdowns this year. He's got 6 in 4 in the last 2
impressive.
games.
You know, his streak got broken, but he's been so impressive, no doubt. I know some people were talking about that third down and Jordan Love wanting him to run and get the first down. I think that was the same play. I'm not really sure. So if we're nitpicking and there's criticism, that might be one of them. But yeah, I don't know. I thought he's had a good start to the year and another great game. Jordan Love's completing 70% of his passes right now. And you mentioned it. I think, you know, having a guy like Golden obviously helps, especially the right time when Jaden Reed went down. Sometimes opportunity knocks, and those plays are there. And a night when we didn't even get Dontavian Wigstead involved. So
yeah, not much at all.
The depth of this receiving cast still shines through in all these situations. Even Bo Melton getting an offensive play.
And then a spot on Packers OT where he was phenomenal, by the way.
He was great. You guys thought of a great prank for him to play on his brother. I don't want to say
that one up. Well, you can hear more of it coming up tomorrow. We're going to hear our conversation with Bo Melton tomorrow.
Let's go.
But I do think that there's something to, you have to win games in different ways. Not every game is going to be as according to script. And yesterday there were ways and reasons that the team definitely could have been thrown off of their script, but ultimately they get a 27-18 win and a good one to have. They're now 3-1-1. They get the Arizona Cardinals, who played a backup quarterback yesterday. But again, on the road, playing with a backup quarterback, losing your number 1 wide receiver, they almost beat the Colts, who were 4-1 going into yesterday. So it was a strange day in the NFL. Ultimately, the Packers get a win. That's good stuff to have. I like this one from Mike and Merrill on the talking text line before we hit a parlay of the day. He said, MLB in their infinite wisdom has the NLDS a 5-game series over an 8-day span with days off in between. Then the more important NL and ALCS to get to the World Series, a 7-game series, put in a 9-day set with back-to-back games and 3 days squeezed in back-to-back-to-back. 2 more possible games than only 1 additional day, taxing the bullpens and only a travel day break in between. What are your thoughts on that? I think it definitely changes the way that the Brewers roster construction comes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Vinny Rotino was talking to us earlier on. He said maybe Tobias Myers ends up finding his way into a significant bulk role. Maybe there's another arm. Yesterday, apparently, Logan Henderson found his way to American Family Field. So, like,
interesting.
The thought as to who they include, but it probably changes up how you construct this 26-man roster going in. I think we're finding out within the next half hour.
Changes the equation a little bit. We'll know in a half hour, like you said. And is there that pipe dream that Woody might still be on that? Is there that pipe dream? Can I have
Boy, Casper
That's
asked
the pipe part of the dream, right?
Well,
I'd like that piece pipe. I mean, we had Gasper ask him. I don't know if you saw the video that Dave posted. Woody was very, very good in talking about the boys instead of Dave's question of, so are you trying to join this thing? You're going to be back in the NLCS? He goes, I'm just very excited.
Well, that's been the that's kind of guy Woody's always been.
For sure.
About others, not himself.
Oh, just deflecting. Oh, so you're saying that it still might happen. I hope so.
I'm keeping hope alive. You know, there was a thought where we thought Mizorowski had no place in this playoff roster, and he ends up winning the dang thing pretty much for us. And all of a sudden, he's one of our best pitchers. So you don't know how quickly fortunes can change. Tobias Myers, another great example, Billy.
Tobias is an interesting one.
Such a huge part of the rotation last year, such a huge part of the picture, and now he's like a fringe guy. So who knows? Unlikely heroes, maybe. It is interesting, though, because, yes, it changes the equation when you have 7 and 9 and not 5 and 8. So
Rhonda said, "Hi guys, I'm still eating cough drops to soothe my throat after screaming Saturday night."
Rhonda.
And you'll be happy to know that the few times they tried to start the Let's Go Cubbies chant, they were immediately drowned out by Let's Go Brewers. At the end of it, I couldn't talk. I could barely hear. I was tearing up and having hot flashes. It was the best night of my life. Let's get the Dodgers. We are the bleeping Brewers. This is our house. This is our team, our town. Let's go, Rhonda. We love to be able to hear that. And we love knowing that there's going to be a ton of Brewers fans packing that place tonight.
Yeah, let's start it up right.
Not a super easy ticket to get, but definitely tickets on that secondary market. If you're thinking about making the last late plunge into the game here tonight, going to be a phenomenal atmosphere to have. Maybe a parlay of the day will help you with some extra cash. If you hit the parlay of the day like we did on Friday, you might have a little bit of money to throw at some NLCS tickets. We'll try to win you some more on the other side. It's No BS on the Game.
KB. Yes, Drew. Cooler temperatures, October baseball, fall football. Does it get any better?
Well, actually, it does get better. Now through October 19th, Iron Jock is offering you 30% off the best hoodie on the planet with the code HOODIE30.
Sweat wicking, odor fighting, 4-way stretch comfort, and built to last.
Plus a free beanie, cuz why not?
Iron Jock hoodies, 30% off with the code HOODIE30. Now through October 19th.
Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
You'll love your new Iron Jock hoodie.
The International Autos Group. More than just an auto group, we're your partner, committed to providing an extraordinary car buying experience. Whether you're in the market for a new BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Porsche, Mini, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, or Hyundai, you'll win big with savings up to $15,000 and financing as low as 0% is available. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Brown Deer, or IAAutogroup.com. Financing with approved credit.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors has added to our dozens of awards by sweeping a recent People's Choice Awards, taking home Best Roofing, Best Siding, Best Windows, and Best Overall Home Improvement Company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard. Bo here with Ridgetop Exteriors. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we deliver with expert craftsmanship, top quality materials, and customer service that keeps area homeowners coming back project after project.
Oh, the guys from Ridgetop Exteriors are here.
The message is loud and clear. You want the best, you call Ridgetop. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, the undisputed champion and your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com to experience the difference today. That's ridgetopexteriors.com, your People's Choice Award winners.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Save big on all outdoor storage at Menards. Suncast sheds have the storage space you need for any backyard. Whether you're protecting bikes and toys or storing yard tools, Suncast storage sheds will save you time with easy assembly and low maintenance construction. Pick up an in-stock Suncast storage shed today and check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
No BS on the game, rounding third, heading for home, and hopefully a Game 1 victory at home for the crew. 877-794-1973, 262. Hey, guys, after Saturday's Brewers game, yesterday's Packer game, tonight's Brewers game, and tomorrow night's Brewers game, who's going to have a voice left by Wednesday? Don and Stalis, you are spot on, brother.
Yeah, that's so true, Don.
If you're hitting that quartet, is that the right way of putting it, of games?
I think, yeah.
Hitting? Oh, batting. Got it.
No, I mean getting,
getting.
hitting as in going to the games. I'm hitting up Brewers game on Saturday.
Sure.
Packers. First off, that's impressive work. That's
if
very,
you're-
very impressive.
If you're hitting all that up, I mean, you got some great business connections for tickets, or you got money. I mean, that's a lot of money for tickets. Am I wrong?
I wasn't.
Well, I'm thinking it. I mean, have you seen some of these ticket prices? That's just the way it is. Is that bad to say? No, I don't know. I'm just.
It's not bad to say. I just do appreciate that. That's where your mind went.
Well, it kind of is. Because
I was saying just from the endurance standpoint.
Endurance and
I'm
all that.
calling it from the old guy that I'm like this. I don't know if this time slot in particular is going to age me more than anything, more than even having two kids under the age of 3. Because Luddy, I'm old now. I've literally walked outside 5 times and looked at the sky and put the hands on the hips and said, wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're getting there, Billy.
I'm 31. I'm not 81.
You're getting there, but you're getting to where I was when I started looking at birds.
So again, I'm looking at it as the endurance to go to all 4 of those games in 4 days. That's good on you. I'm proud of you, Don and Stalis. I'm cheering for you. No way you're going to have a voice left. You might not have knees left, especially if you're standing that much.
And that's kind of the part of that. It's like you have the endurance and the wallet, or the wallet, but not the endurance. You get my point? I'm not trying to make this only, but it's long gone are the days when I used to do the BCD, the Bradley Center double, Marquette during the day, Bucks at night. I used to do it all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you didn't have kids.
Didn't have kids. I was in college. Right after college, 2 games for $15. You know, go to the 1 p.m. Marquette game and then hang out at Major Goolsby's or wherever, Trinity, whatever, the Harp. Everyone was hanging out. Then walk back into because I didn't want to buy drinks at the game because they're more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So you walk back, you buy drinks there. Then,
back to the cash.
Yeah, back then it was a different day.
A little
Okay,
bit,
go
yeah.
back. Then
Yeah,
you walk
thanks,
in
inflation.
to the Bucks Pacers game and watch, Joe Smith try
And
to
Brian
win a game
Skinner
for
on a
us.
10-day
And
contract.
Brian Skinner, man, absolutely. Try and win ball games for us. So
And it
that's
didn't
just
go
the way
well.
it was. But times have changed. But if you can do the quad, what did you call it? The quadrangular? No, the quadfecta.
There's the triangle of what I've called it the
quartet.
The quartet. The quartet.
The triangle's great when you can do Brewers on a Friday night during the regular season, then hit up a Badger game in Madison on Saturday, then beat a Green Bay on Sunday for a
There you
Packers
go.
game. That is, in theory, that's a great weekend right there.
It's a pretty damn solid weekend.
It's a great
no doubt
time.
about it. But once you're talking about playoff stuff, really good.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe hold the Badger game on Saturday. Like if that was the one, maybe that one doesn't include Brian in Ohio said, what? No Badger talk this morning?
We did talk some.
Brian, we did talk some Badgers. Okay,
Yeah,
we
they
did.
lost.
We did talk some. I talked quite a bit after the game with my friend Nick Brusewitz. And let me tell you this. I gained a lot of personal and professional respect for Nick Brusewitz on Saturday night.
That must have been
And I'm very excited to hear him talk about it for the next 4 hours.
tough day for him.
Poor guy.
That poor kid was
he'll
going
get over it.
absolutely through it, dude. His 2 favorite teams just taking it on the chin.
Tough.
Yeah, the Badgers got plastered on Saturday night. Like, there's no other way to say it. That is as disheartening, disappointing, and potentially damaging of a loss that you can possibly have.
No,
where
it is.
they did 42 push-ups every day after practice. Every day. In the winter, spring ball, summer conditioning, fall practice. 42 push-ups to remember what happened against Iowa. And then for it to be worse this time, like that's a tough deal to potentially not even as good of an Iowa team, because I don't know that there's a Caleb Johnson on this team.
Don't know about that.
That was very, very, very disappointing. made maybe a little bit worse because you're potentially going up against the historically great Ohio State team this weekend at Camp Randall. But incredible opportunity to put some stuff.
Huge opportunity. Sometimes
chance
and sometimes there are hard times as a fan, so it makes you appreciate the good times even more, and it reminds you that you can't waste an opportunity to enjoy it, right? Because you don't know.
Yes,
you don't know when the hard times are around the corner. So that's why. I mean, I was a little strong with my celebration take earlier about this on-field celebration.
Yeah, you were a little strong on that.
Hey, but you don't know when these times are going to come again. So I need a big dog pile on the field.
Well, maybe we need a dog pile at the Potawatomi Sportsbook because we hit a parlay of the day this weekend, and that needs to be celebrated.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
414 said maybe the Badgers will lose out and get a good draft pick.
That's not how that works, guys.
That's not how that works yet.
Yeah.
Yet. So maybe soon enough, maybe very much soon enough in college sports, it will be Hawkeye and Madison said, gain some respect for Iowa, Billy. That was a smackdown. Hawkeye, it was a...
Did you disrespect them?
Absolute smackdown. Oh, I disrespect Iowa any opportunity.
Oh, the state. I thought you meant
any
the football
opportunity
program.
I have.
Oh, they're part of it.
Yeah, some would say they're the biggest part of it. The only one people care about, or no. See, there I go again. Hawkeye, congratulations. Good win.
I've been in a lot of parts of Iowa.
I've been to Summit in Iowa City. Let me tell you, that's a
Iowa.
place.
And you may have a point, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of bad
The
parts.
truck
of Iowa.
stop is so cool.
Don't
though.
get me started on it again. All right, I'm trying to be nice.
That's
and
nice.
I'm giving them their respect. They deserve it. No doubt about it. It could be worse. It could be James Franklin. All right, let's go to get a parlay of the day in at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest because we have cash to play with. Because this weekend we fired in a dominating parlay of the day.
A dub.
Starting up with a -6 investment on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, 23-9. If you were watching NFL Red Zone, you saw this game about 4 times. DK Metcalf's touchdown, a bunch of Chris Boswell field goals, and Connor Haywood's touchdown, and that was it. That was all you got on NFL Red Zone because there wasn't a ton happening in terms of driving the ball consistently down the field, but this was a beating by the Steelers as they beat up on the Browns 23-9. They score in every quarter. Rodgers looks good, and don't look now, boys and girls.
Don't look now. They're 4-1.
They're 4-1 and leaders of the AFC North.
Don't look now, but Aaron Rodgers might be smelling on their playoff run here.
He absolutely is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right?
Might be a run to the NFC or AFC title game there for Aaron Rodgers at this point.
And they got the Bengals this week, so I'm sure they're happy about that.
Not bad for a deal on a guy on a 1-year deal.
A 1-year,
I mean,
$10
he's
million
playing all right.
deal. Yeah, that one pays out pretty well. No doubt about it. So the parlay of the day included that. It also included the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers baking in that Tampa Sun was Baker Mayfield, 17 of 23, 256, 2 tugs, a 139 quarterback rating. Rashad White and Sean Tucker each get in on the ground. The Buccaneers are a wagon right now.
They're
dude.
really
They're
good.
phenomenal at 5-1.
Yeah, their best start, I think, and I forget the stat now, but it's been their best start in some time. And talk about never giving up. Baker Mayfield never gave up on his career, and look what he's doing
No
now.
shot. They were laying 3, cover it cleanly and easily over the now 4-2 San Francisco 49ers, 30-19. Big story in there is Fred Warner's ankle was facing the wrong way.
Fred Warner.
If you have not seen the video, don't go look at it unless you desperately want to see something gross, because it is one of the more disgusting injuries I've seen. Also deflating because he seems like one of the great dudes in the league, and he's done for the year. Kyle Shanahan confirming that after the game. And then later on, we got to watch the dominant Detroit Lions, as we were told last night on Packers OT when I asked, who's the dominant team in the NFL? Well, the Detroit Lions dominated by the Kansas City Chiefs last night, 30-17. Brian Branch and the Lions did most of their fighting after the game, and the Chiefs win and cover the 2. We win the parlay of the day, and on to a Monday night doubleheader of football.
Let's go.
2 NFL games and Brewers Dodgers. It's a pretty clean sweep, and it's an easy one. It starts up with a Josh Allen touchdown. Josh Allen on Monday Night Football.
Hey, that's a good one.
Stars are out. Josh Allen likes to shine. He's a little bit of a show pony. Yeah. a little bit of a show off. He likes to be able to score when the lights are on, and the bright lights are going to be on tonight in the ATL. Give me a Josh Allen touchdown. And on the other side of that same game, Bijan Robinson, to score a touchdown. He has been, as advertised, in one of the easiest layups in sports investing all year long. Armin, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets dicey. This is where we could very easily just throw in against the left-hander Blake Snell one Andrew Vaughn hit, and it goes to plus 450. We go Andrew Vaughn total bases. It goes to plus 835. William Contreras going full Wild Bill in the first inning at 869. That seems like the nicest result we're going to get. Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. Bijan Robinson, anytime touchdown. And William Contreras over 1.5 total bases tonight in game 1 of the NLCS. Could have gone Brewers money line. Very much maybe should have gone Brewers money line.
Get a big number.
But I've been told many a time, and I think the proof is kind of in the pudding, that the Brewers don't do all that well when we put Brewers money line in the parlay.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that to the Brewers because the only thing more important right now than winning a Billy's parlay of the day is the Brewers winning game.
I don't believe in the bettors jinx.
Okay, good.
Too many people do. So I'm not trying to mess around with it. I'm not taking any risk. Let's go Crew. Let's go Wild Bill. Let's go Contreras over 1.5 total bases. Josh Allen touchdown. Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown tonight, plus 869 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Those who don't know, for a quarterback, anytime touchdown's got to be, you can't be a throwing touchdown.
A throwing touchdown. It had to be a rushing or receiving touchdown. Could be like the Jared Goff touchdown that almost was a touchdown last night.
And I don't know, Laura, she's been asking me to explain why it didn't count. I don't know why. It was some sort of procedural penalty, right, Billy? We were during the show.
Yeah, it was during the show, so I didn't hear the explanation for it. Luddy, it kind of seemed to me like he did a little bit too much of a banana motion and started facing the line of scrimmage, and I think took one step towards the line of scrimmage. So that's why I believe it got called. Frankly, it was really late and probably shouldn't have. Like, it was too late of a whistle that I don't necessarily agree with it. Also, it was such a cool play.
Yeah.
That I think it should get grandfathered in.
Because it wasn't a super easy. I mean, he had to catch it, bobble it, catch it, then run through a guy.
Like when the Lions with, I believe it was Taylor Decker, their left tackle, when he scored the touchdown, it was so well executed and smart, and I like a thick 6. Like, it should have just counted just for that moment.
Yes.
Just for the fact that it was awesome.
Right.
You got to have a little bit of a teeter-totter there. It's got to be a balancing act. Balanced and dominated, I thought, here today. Phenomenal job, Luddy.
Thanks.
Great work on short rest. Andrew Ludwig will be out at Brewers and Dodgers later on tonight. Armin Sarian, let's go get a victory tonight.
Let's go get one. Let's go get one.
Let's go get one up on LA.
Right.
Let's enjoy a doubleheader, and let's get right back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. for another No BS morning show. Love doing it. We'll talk about it with Tim Allen after the game tomorrow as well. And with you at 877-794-1973. It's been the game.